Hi everybody, welcome to ZealZaddy. I'm Scott Coventry. I'm one of the two partners in ZealZaddy. The other one is Cliff Dunn. You'll see him at 6 o'clock when he's running Zealots of Zul. We play here Crosscodes, which is a campaign set in Esper Genesis, which... Hi everybody, welcome to ZealZaddy. I'm Scott.
I think I've heard this.
You have heard that, weirdly. Esper Genesis is a DnD5e science fiction variant that is a very interesting, well-designed system. It is not D&D exactly. It does have powers. It does have classes and races and all that kind of stuff, but it is definitely not run-of-the-mill D&D. I hope you find it interesting, and maybe some of you go and purchase it or play it yourselves. It's really a cool system. We play at the Adventure Game Store and Cafe here in Davie, Florida, which is right outside Fort Lauderdale. So it's a suburb of Fort Lauderdale. We have some of the most knowledgeable game information people here. Brian Dalrymple, who's one of the owners of the store and the cafe, he was a member of GAMA, which is the Game Manufacturers Association, for more than 20 years. A veritable stalwart in the industry. He goes to every con, anybody knows him. So get to know him. You can find him. He follows us on Twitter. We follow them. We also have a very successful Kickstarter launcher here in our presence. I'll give you the camera to him in a moment. We want to celebrate that because it's an amazing thing for everybody, and we can all learn from it. We can all enjoy really cool ideas coming to life, particularly when they're ones that enhance the gameplay of the things that we love anyway. Before we get started, don't forget to follow us. If you're not following us here on Twitch already, do so here. But you can also follow us on all the social, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all at /ZealZaddy. YouTube is not /ZealZaddy yet. But if you go down below, you'll see that you can click over to the YouTube channel and follow us there. We're on Patreon if you want to become a patron. And where else? Oh, and Discord. It has been fairly quiet on Discord lately, but it will be getting hotter as we get towards the end of the first season. So can you cut to Eugene? Let him have a moment and talk about his amazing, successful Kickstarter campaign.
Well, thanks, Scott. So I did a Kickstarter that just wrapped on yesterday, called Ancestry and Culture, an alternative to race in 5e. It was surprisingly successful. It funded at about 2,500% of the goal I had set.
What was the goal you set?
Only $300. I just was going to buy a couple pieces of art, put out some alternative rules that replace race with ancestry and culture in 5th edition, which lets you do things like create a character that maybe has human parents but is raised by elves, like Aragorn, right? So, and that's a different system from just being a human. Also, it allows you to create more characters with mixed ancestries, like someone who has elven and dwarven ancestry, for example. But it really took off, and so because the Kickstarter really exploded, I was able to pay for a lot more art that I've commissioned, and I've hired an editor, Hannah Rose, who is the editor for a lot of the recent Wizards of the Coast books. She edited Descent into Avernus and the upcoming Critical Role Adventurer's Guide to Wildmount, I think it's called. So she's got some legit D&D chops, and I look forward to that. So yeah, and as we added a bunch of stretch content like adventures and extra NPCs and stuff. So I'm excited about it, and people seem to be, apparently I tapped a need that some people thought was there. So I look forward to delivering that to people, and then sometime afterwards it'll show up on Drive-Thru RPG as well. So I'm excited. I hope people like it, and thanks for letting me talk about it.
Awesome. All right, go to the screen. All right, we have two people that are missing today. One of them is sick, and one of them had a super late night of working and not able to make it, sadly. So we're down 2, which is the most we've been down, and hopefully it'll be a 1-week issue. So let's go around the table. Let's start over there with Kyle.
Hello, I'm Kyle Jablonski. I'm playing 1479 Soren, the Ashen Forged warrior, who has just finished getting approached by some fans. Is rather antsy about what's going on here. He's having a lot of not nice feelings. The feelings that make him reach for the knife.
Hi, I'm Jazz. I play Annalie Scifi, the group doctor. And I wasn't here last week, so I had some catching up to do. But last I left off, the meme had started to talk in my head, and that was kind of freaking me out, so I look forward to whatever is going on that end to see what things Scott will throw at me and I have to figure out on the fly, so yeah.
Oh, that sounds like fun.
Yeah.
And Amin is an alien.
Get the image around. But yeah,
It's hard to describe actually.
it's one of our,
It's an alien species.
but also
Thinking computers.
some sort of organic
More of a-
computer.
Yeah.
Oh, we don't have the. There it is. All right.
Yeah, it's there.
Anyway, my name's Eugene Marshall. Like I said before, I'm Kelrin Ganrick, a Dendus Melder and astral cartographer. And I am super excited about the prospect of locating a lost home world of one of our currently absent shipmates, because it would be like the discovery of a lifetime for him. Also, we've been dealing with the fact that the local government and its cronies, corporate cronies here, are very hostile to us, and I'm not real keen on that, but we may have found some new allies in that, although there's some disagreement about that issue.
Yeah, crony capitalism is running rampant in the system. Rampant.
Seems to be so.
Anyone want to do a recap?
Not me.
You wanna do it or should I?
You do it and I can fill in any blanks.
Thank you. So, when we last left our party, I'll start with what is most sticking in my mind most. We, a couple sessions ago, we had been tasked with what seemed like a side job, really, right? We were just like, oh,
It was a side job.
It was just chance for some extra cash, right? And we went and salvaged an ancient vessel that a collector had and lost in a cavern. And ended up the cavern was occupied by some local megafauna, let's call them, and namely giant worms that ate our friends, our red shirts. And we got the ship out. It ended up being like a propeller plane, an airplane. But as we were doing it, we discovered that the collector apparently had left behind an ancient laptop that he had been using to store sensitive data on, using the ancient laptop because it was something he could trust was not connected to the kind of galactic SIM or network. And we uncovered the data and discovered that he had been a part of some mega galactic conspiracy to undermine, bring down, we're not sure, the Silrain Arc government, which is this galactic government, that is, we might add, propping up the bad guys here in our home system, the core system. And they also declared us outlaws, so don't care for them much. So we ended up making some inquiries and then got contacted by apparently some current members of this very same organization, and they are trying to recruit us. Kelrin is 100% into this because these people claim they can get us out of the system, give us new identities, and give us access to information, which is his catnip. So he's talking about doing this. They reached out to us at a bar when we were waiting for our ship to be repaired.
Repaired in the zero-G.
Yes.
Environment created.
Yeah, we're creating a zero-G environment for one of our aliens that is a creature that's from another dimension, probably, that is able to live in the vacuum of space but doesn't handle gravity well. gravity wells well.
Well.
So we also have another alien on board that we liberated from I mentioned the corporate entity that runs the system, the Dubois. We raided their base and liberated both of these aliens, the Gavril from another dimension, and the Amin, which ends up being maybe I don't know if it's organic, but it's some sort of mega computer that Matryoshka brain, it was called, that maybe is built by this ancient lost race, the Atorians, who also built our ship, who also built the Crucibles, which are the core technology of the whole galaxy, etc. So it seems important. We haven't been able to talk to it, but the good Dr. Scifi seemed to have cracked that code last session or 2 sessions ago. I think that's where all I can remember that seems super. What am I forgetting?
Did you actually finish the zero gravity?
You were offered another job because of the success of that job.
Oh, right. So because we were so successful at getting the airplane out, the leader of this, so the Dubois run the system, the Romanovs are this basically crime family.
They're the Vori, the Russian mob. They're basically the Russian mob.
Right, and so we've been working for them because they're literally the only people who have any sort of power and resources in the system besides our enemies. And they now are the leader, Vanya, or one leader, I guess, has said, the local leader, the capo, has said, yeah, you guys do great work. How about wet work?
Hey, you want to kill some people?
How about you kill some innocent scientists? Well, they're not innocent, they work for the bad guys. But kill some scientists, and in the most gruesome way possible, in fact, a way that one of our former shipmates had been killed, and that we've spent the past X number 20 sessions decrying as horrible. And they're like, hey, how about you do that too? And I think the consensus there is we probably don't want to do that.
Yeah, there was a large amount of debate, not on that this is bad, but on at least
How we should say no.
say no, and then we also were basically debating about the offer offered by the Aetheron people,
The conspiracy people,
the
right?
conspiracy people, of which Soren has some very dissenting opinions on.
You don't trust the totally shady secret people that
No.
make promises that seem impossible to keep?
I literally trust the crime lord who has been good to us more than the shady people who just popped up. I know when I'm dealing with the crime lord.
Fair. The crime lord unfortunately wants us to become assassins, so that might be a bridge too far for some of us.
Definitely.
Dr. Scifi's in the house, and she said on the first 20 minutes that our characters had met Dr. Scifi, she was treating someone for injuries, and she said, as long as you're not an assassin, that's my one rule. And then what do you know?
That seems like a very specific rule.
It is, and what do you know? It seems to be relevant here.
Why would you want to help somebody that's sole purpose is to kill everybody around her?
Because you have
basically?
well, that's a bad one. That's a bad assassin. The assassin's supposed to
Well,
kill one person.
I mean, okay, so you get paid to hit a specific target.
Do no
but
harm,
still,
but first do no harm. It's the hypocrite code.
Yeah, aren't you supposed to help
I don't
everyone?
do harm. I just don't help.
Isn't that doing harm though?
No,
Yeah, it is.
it's
You
not.
have the ability to help.
It's being Switzerland. I'm neutral. I'm
That's not neutral.
involved.
You're taking a stance on that.
I'm taking a stance.
Yeah,
Not
that-
taking a stance.
I don't know. That seems pretty hypocritical, Hippocratic, if you ask me. Well, what do I know?
What?
Are we talking about
Well,
this?
I don't want to be lectured by the guy who keeps grenades in the bathtub.
Yeah, but I use these grenades to hurt the bad people who want to hurt us. I don't not let them hurt us.
So would he agree on her stance on not doing assassins?
No.
No.
I mean, you have a job, and your job is to do it. My job is to hurt people, and I hurt people.
They were all bad.
Oh, my job to bring the pain,
So then I
and
guess
then absorb the pain.
Annalie takes convenient vacations in her job when assassins are in the area.
Well, the decision at the end of last week was to not do the assassin work. It was decided against,
However,
almost overwhelmingly.
however, we agreed we are not going to screw over the crime lords as best we can.
Right.
We do want to try not to burn bridges, and at least Soren does not completely trust the new people. both in the terms of they just showed up with the magic beans, selling magic beans, and the fact that he is sort of in a way ideologically opposed, at least on something. He is a soldier. He follows orders. He has fought in a few conflicts, and law and order is something he believes in.
So go with the lawbreakers, the criminals.
They're lawful criminals.
Fair, lawful evil versus chaotic good. Is that what we're talking about?
We literally know nothing about. We literally know nothing about them. They are trying to destabilize. According to their thing, they're trying to
So
destabilize.
they might be chaotic neutral then.
Yeah. Do you really want to follow the guy who burns the bridge while you're on the bridge? Just saying.
I think the conclusion we reached, and it's if you, I don't know if you knew this or not, but was that we're not going to literally give the middle finger to the crime family, but we're also not going to become assassins. So we're hoping there's room to be like, we're still in your employ, but that's just not a job we can take. Maybe because it's outside of our area of expertise, or we're just not comfortable with it, whatever. If you want us to smuggle, maybe we could talk, but not assassins. And hopefully they will be satisfied. We're also going to send them a wiped device, they decided. Because we don't want this Atheron information falling into the Romanov hands, because we don't yet know how.
Which actually seems safe, because it didn't seem like they really knew or cared anything about that. It was more about the collectibleness of the
plane.
Yeah, that's
plane and stuff around it.
That's the saving grace. of it.
Atheron cared about everything but the plane. that was a ruse to get to the
So we're
other
giving the
stuff.
Romanovs what they want. We're just not going to do that one particular job. Hopefully we can still be freelancers with them.
Yeah, we built up some good credit. I mean, we were asked, "Do you want to do this?" We were given the option.
It sounded like we had an option.
Look, if you are asked a question, that means you have the option to say no.
Well, you do have the option to say no now. They gave you time to think it over.
Yeah.
Well, I meant like any question. Like, can you do this for me? No,
Well,
it's an option.
Well, there's the option to say they're saying no, and they're saying no and saying, "Do you want to say no?"
Yeah, so the question is whether they will see us as enemies if we say no. And Soren's hoping not.
I feel like they wouldn't. We've done good work for them. We've helped them out, and it literally would be silly to throw away resources that could be used further.
So you're basically saying that, okay, we will help you take down this family because there are enemies too, but we will not go out of our way to horribly torture and kill the enemies.
Right.
That has to be somebody else's job,
Yeah.
not ours.
I think that's right. They can get somebody else for that one. And
That
so
particular job is not to the majority of our crew's tastes.
we're retaining at least some cordial relations with the Romanovs. And then, yes, we're not going into this Atheron thing blind, closed with ignorant. We're going to go in defensively and want to see what they can offer us before we sign on the dotted line or put our name in whatever.
Yeah.
And while you're in the ship, you get a message from the Romanovs saying, Ivana Zanetta is our business director on DeepWind. Please see her when you're ready to let us know your decision. She'll have the information that you'll need when you proceed.
Well, we could deliver the destroyed hard drive or destroyed laptop, maybe just without its hard drive, to her and say, well, we did find this, we talked to them about it, and sorry, we're not going to be treating anyone's skull like an apple core, which is what they wanted us to do.
Yeah. Tell me it's a whole other story.
So at this point, I do think that having had this conversation with Soren and with Marl and with Jack outside this bar, and then we're walking back into the ship, we'd probably step in and say, "So Dr. Scifi, I just want to let you know and kind of bring you up to speed. There's this organization. Your grandmother's name is on their rolls.
Great-grandmother,
Great-grandmother's name, right? It's
apparently.
Zamira Scifi.
Okay, that begs the question. Who was my great-grandmother?
Zamira Scifi.
Yeah, but
You don't really know much about your great-grandmother, but you know she's still alive. She's just infirmed and, home. But your grandmother's not alive.
So my grandmother,
Your great-grandmother is really, really old, but alive.
Oh, we also figured out that one of the names are dead.
Yeah, we did. We did find out one's dead. Well, two's dead.
I'll give you a new list so you can understand it.
Oh, so I have to don't write it down or what?
We'll get to that when you start making the inquiries, the deeper inquiries.
So she's still alive and firm and probably in some type of Eldori home for the old people.
Yeah, for people that are
The wise and elders.
the oldest of the oldest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which would, I'm sure in Eldori culture would give them like respect and
Absolutely.
yeah.
They treat their old well.
I probably encountered her then as a doctor. I'd probably gone and actually.
When you were younger, she was not in the same kind of condition. She was still very, very old, but not in an infirmary or a facility that was for people that were last stages kind of stuff.
Wow, she has to be. Oh my god.
Yeah, Eldori live a long time.
Yeah, a very long time. Like I know that,
But
still.
she's exceptional, even among the Eldori.
So do I know how actually old she is?
You don't really know.
It's not like
It's not like
it's just my really old grandmother.
great grandmother.
My great.
She outlived your grandmother.
Yeah, well, she's not like my other grandmother's dead, so I guess I would just call her grandma. I don't have another one around, I guess.
Yeah.
Unless wait, that's what side of the family is she on?
She's on your mother's side.
My mother's side.
Is Eldori culture matriarchal?
It is actually shared. They can choose which way they go, kind of like old Russian culture is, where they would choose,
I guess the Scifi line
matriarch or
came down
patriarch.
more than.
Yeah, cool.
Must be nice having parents.
Listen,
You have so many parents.
listen, son, orphan boy. Now's not the time.
No, I don't even get the luxury of being an orphan. I was made in a factory.
Or Pinocchio.
One day, if I murder enough people, I will be a real boy one day.
Marl comes back and he goes, I think I was able to rig something up that'll allow me to move the data off this thing. I have to connect to that, what they would have called it that time, I think a motherboard, to move data off of it without putting it on the sim.
How quaint.
Yeah, it's so weird.
Make it so.
And he does.
Gets to work. All right.
So, real question is, last where I left off, and while you guys were doing whatever you were doing, what happened after the meme said something in my head?
I guess I wasn't there, so I don't know.
I don't think anybody knows yet.
What happened? What'd you say?
Because last time I was here, we left off on the meme, like, talking in my head,
Yes.
and a gavel gives me a sign I've never seen before. So I'm like curious about what happened after that.
They had this important moment they had to deal with. So they left you actually back with them. And you continued communicating mostly the same signs, trying to figure things out with the gavel. The means spoke no more.
What did it say? I totally forgot what happened.
I have to go back to my notes. Hold on. Actually, I'll go back to that in a little bit.
Okay.
I don't want to go back to it right now.
So stuff was going on, and the gavel kept showing me the same sign, which I wouldn't understand right now until I clicked later. So I guess the entire time you guys are gone, I was running diagnostics on both of them, trying to get the information I hadn't gotten, and I had new medical equipment. So I'm sure I set that up. And
You did. Absolutely.
now I have more in-depth.
Well, you and Marl
Yeah.
did some. Marl also. Oh, you're still waiting on the anti-grav pad.
I mean, a couple more days.
Yeah. 2 more days before that's.
Before that happens? Okay,
Yeah.
so yeah, so is there any new information that I got from the diagnostics.
The amine, with Boots' help, realize that it seems mostly devoid of information.
Did you format the hard drive?
Did I reset factory settings? Okay, so
You didn't. If anyone did, it was Endori.
yeah, it was Endori, but so Endori did it and I rebooted, so
Yeah. It seems like it is collecting information very quickly. Boots can tell you that its data input is astronomically fast. But it seems like whatever was there before doesn't seem to still be there. But it's so deep and complex to get through, there's not a way of actually knowing for sure that none of it was
maybe I had like a
stored or
backup system.
secreted or something.
Okay, so that's probably something to put on a back burner to go into depth about. Okay. Does it, so with the language, I didn't hear it in my head anymore, but the computer language that I can speak, does it able to communicate that way, or is it not communicative at all?
It seems to take it in more than give it out.
So I'm seeing it like right.
If,
Oh, okay.
if you're showing computer code, it seems to take that in without putting any output from it. But it seems to take everything in that you feed it.
Okay. I have an idea. I don't know if it's a good one. I would probably ask. Who was busy? Matt?
They were all out
All
dealing
of
with
them.
these.
Okay. So Boots is basically
different
the only one now.
The only one consistently around there.
Okay. Then I would probably ask his opinion.
Yeah, and he's really only over the communicator mostly
That's fine. Hey
at the
Boots.
moment.
Are you here, Boots?
Yeah, I'm here.
I need a second opinion. It seems that the amine is taking in information. Should I try to educate it on the ways of life?
It seems like it has enough storage to take that in.
It's more of a... Do you think it would be worth it to try to treat it like a person?
It's not a person, it's a computer.
I have a feeling that it can act like one if need be.
Didn't we realize that it was just a computer that was formed shaped like a humanoid, like a bipedal? Say humanoid, I wouldn't say that.
Yes, but I heard it speak in my head.
Oh, so it can now communicate.
It hasn't since the initial word it spoke, but that makes me wonder if perhaps it's not completely computerized.
Maybe try and get it to talk again, but have diagnostics equipment hooked up.
I will, but so far it doesn't seem like it's willing to do that right now.
Try violence, that usually works.
Oh my god.
Perhaps, but maybe not the way I would want to go about with unknown creature. I don't want to show it hostile behavior and it give out hostile behavior.
Yeah, it seemed pretty dangerous before.
So do you agree with my suggestion that perhaps I should educate it on how to act and perhaps show
Yeah,
it
maybe. It might
morals?
have fun explaining that.
Yes. Yes, I realize I have quite a journey ahead of me, but
I mean, in a way, maybe it's like a baby, and that is what it needs. Which would be sad, because it would be really cool to know what it really knew before.
perhaps it still knows, perhaps it doesn't.
Oh, you had captured some of that? Oh, hold on. And the communication goes quiet for a moment. Some of what he knew was captured by the ship.
May I see it?
It's still being parsed. It's weird.
Whenever you have something able to be shown, I would like to see it.
All right, then a hologram comes up over your laptop, and there's like just a shit ton of code, like goes on and on and on and on and on, and very complex code at that, and you don't understand most of it.
But some of it?
Sure, you have some computer knowledge. It doesn't all seem like ancient code, although a lot of it does. But there's some modern code in there too that seems to be strewn into it.
Like it absorbs information.
Yeah.
So basically, okay, I think I get this. Then this is just gonna take time. But Boots is probably for the ship. We'll have to work out. Okay, thank you, Boots. I will go back to.
But if it absorbs everything, you may not want it to see everything it used to know if it was not doing things that we would want it to do.
Yeah, that thought popped into my head. Okay. I will proceed with caution.
Okay.
Thank you for giving me that second opinion, Boots.
And you feel a tentacle on your arm. And the gavril is there.
What sign is it showing me?
It shows you. Hold on, I need to get the symbol pad and find the right one. This symbol.
Green?
No, it's a new symbol.
Oh, so this is the gavril symbol, and this is, I'm guessing it might need some 0G, perhaps. That's my first instinct, anyway.
But you always assume that. Every
I-
symbol.
Every symbol.
It needs 0G.
It does.
It likes it. It's not killing it.
It's not killing
At
it.
least not fast.
Gosh. Okay.
Then it goes back into its water. Or its bath, chemical bath. And it sort of lays kind of flat in the water. Its tentacles kind of outstretched but together-ish.
Can I make an intelligence check for this symbol? I'm not as smart as
You're
my
an
character
intelligent
is.
I don't know if there's enough information for anybody to glean what it means yet.
Okay, fair enough.
But you might understand what it means after something happens.
Yeah, which
So.
has been the case every time. Okay.
That is how we learn.
Wait, what was the other symbol you showed me? It was like a yellow one.
Which one?
It was like, I think it kind of looked like this, but it was yellow, and it was what it showed right after the amine. Like, it was, I guess, they were communicating with each other.
That one?
Yes.
Okay.
No idea.
Together?
I know. Yeah. Okay, so that's another
So
thing.
for the viewers, what's happening here is
Confusion.
Very
it is-
confusion.
Annalie is trying to analyze the communication that the squid-like alien does using light. It seems to communicate with light, so it's all pictures and things like that. There's no other communication that they've found from it.
I'm basically trying to decipher hieroglyphics,
Yes.
and it's difficult.
You ain't got no Rosetta Stone.
I don't.
You seem to have figured out a few things that you're pretty confident.
I'm pretty
With
confident.
high confidence, you're accurate about.
At least the vague idea of what they are. Yeah, so, okay, that's happening. I guess I'll put on an educational program for the mean.
Okay. Oh,
I love it.
nice.
Like a children's,
War and Peace.
basically how to treat people, be a nice person, and maybe languages, like give it languages, and since it takes in everything, I can just like start uploading all the languages I have to it. And then it, explaining how to use language to communicate with people. Or basically really like basic knowledge that most people have and kind of like giving it to them and hoping it will take in this information.
Something you use to teach babies.
Yes. Yeah, babies or small
Baby
children.
Einstein.
Yeah, basically. Maybe even introducing it to some cultural things. Educated.
All right.
In the background, while I try to diagnose the Gavril, I guess right now, and work more on decoding everything.
And what are you guys doing?
Soren's getting ready to put on Violence, the movie, all action, no plot. Now,
Sword is not allowed near their meat.
Or the Gavril.
Soren has to go in there. That's where he dropped one of his many toys. You first. I'm trying to think of what I'm doing.
Alright, so we're at a point where we need to reach out to the Romanov people and give them their answer. We've told what's the status where we left off with the Aetheron people? That we're gonna let them know what we think too?
You said you were, but you haven't told them yet.
Okay, so I think we should maybe pass that information on to both people, but then let the Aetheron people know, like, well, we're not gonna be ready to leave for a couple of days until this is repaired, during which time then Kelrin would return working with Marl to crack the secret of the Kesh's home.
And Marl comes back and says, I found another file in there. It's a little one,
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
but it's interesting.
Let's take a look.
I put the information out. I don't really know exactly what it is, but I have a suspicion.
Can we share it? Yeah. Kelrin looks at it and says, I don't know what this is. I mean, I recognize some of these words.
Couldn't Soren make a knowledge check of some sort to something about like looking at some of these words to see, the independent peoples of the Silrain Arc sounds like just the sort of a rebel group you would hear about. If make a recall for that.
Sure.
Like some sort of brush fire war on a forgotten planet somewhere. Doing security, UN security measures.
Almost.
Ew. No, Soren's not really thinking.
Haven't heard of it.
Not thinking clear. No.
So, Kelrin's going to think about it in a moment as well.
This looks like notes I would take.
So, for those following along at home, it says freedom from, something, we don't know what, the core, spelled C-O-R-E, or C-O-R-R, which is the name of this system. Quiet Ascent, we haven't encountered that phrase, I don't think yet.
No.
Aetheron, which is the name of the anti-government organization. Silpane, I don't know that one either. Fisher, I don't know that one either. Rift, Rise in Freedom something. I don't know that either. Counter Reflection, also don't know that one. Albedo, well, that's a term from alchemy, but other than that, I don't know what it means.
It's reflectivity. Like a
It
planet.
is, that's right, yeah, that's right. Yes, that's right. It's the amount of how much something reflects light.
Yeah.
All right, Independent Peoples of the Silrain Arc, Ipso.
Thought that one might have been like some sort of rebel group, but we are not sure.
Rose's Thorn and the Thorn. Have you heard anything called Rose's Thorn and the Thorn?
Not off the top of our heads.
Well, Felix Rose was the guy who had the plane.
Are these names of splinter cells of freedom fighters or terrorists?
It could be.
They
So-
sound like it.
Well, it might be that Felix Rose's group is called Rose's Thorn, and it might be that. What's the Thorn? Is it an item? Is it a group?
Or perhaps a faction within.
None of these were. They have a ship. The plane doesn't have any of these names.
No.
Well, I mean, honestly, if presented with this, Kelleran would probably do what I would do. Is type them into the sim, see what comes up. As if they're like, oh, Rose's Thorn is the name of a planet, or it's the name of a ship, or it's
Nothing
a.
of importance comes up from anything.
I mean, yeah, just probably.
Except Aetheron, which is a suspected terrorist organization.
We think these are names of cells. We have been involved in enough police actions against the People's Front of something or other to know that that is a very popular name. But we have never encountered this one.
Compare it with this list here. This is going to help. So I assume if we go through the histories for all of these that are on these dossiers.
Yeah, you haven't done that yet.
Yes.
Because you were nervous about going on the sim with them.
Can we just read
The
them?
Boots said he could hook it up in a way where it would not be traceable. And it would not look like they were all necessarily coming in at the same time.
So what we have here is a list of names, and then it says data received. We get things like biorecs, data recs, credit recs, and history. Is this information on the hard of the laptop, or is this
Yes.
something? Okay, so we, without even connecting to the sim, we could bring up
Yes,
Felix Rose's history.
correct.
So I mean, Kelleran would maybe sit down and look through these histories. At least he's not very interested in biorecs, or I assume data recs and credit recs are also.
Biorecs is a DNA sequence.
And credit recs is their financial interactions, and data recs are just other information.
Other data.
So history is probably what
It's the most tangible,
narrative.
sort of, right?
So
Everything
yeah,
else is,
about 10 of them have a history out of 20 or whatever this number is. So yeah, he'd start reading the history and also cross-referencing for these names. See if we can figure out.
Rose is the only one, Felix Rose.
Okay. Well, if,
Who, when you were looking at before, was the earliest initiate of this.
yeah, 6,003, and this is about roughly 100 years ago.
Yeah.
I will say that the
A
second.
little more than that.
The second initiate is an Eldori, the other Eldori, and then the third initiate is this Lorendi. Right here. Oh no, there's a fourth one, a Promethean too. I mean, we could, if Bones thinks they're Bones? Boots?
Damn it.
Wrong spaceship.
I'm a cybermancer, not a doctor, Jim.
Yeah, right? If Boots thinks he can get us to be able to search these names off the sim without it being traceable,
Yeah.
well then, why don't we just type in all the names and see how many of them are dead? Because if any of these are alive, like your great-grandmother, Dr. Scifi, we could go visit them in person and be like, what's up with this, Grandma?
I know.
And just, come on! And, no, not with her
And you-
frail old grandma.
It goes through all of it.
Ah,
The updated list.
this is a little more detailed. For example,
Well, some of them are, when you search for them, are very truncated. There's very little data. Some of them where it says full sim, there's plenty of information like a normal sim would have.
let's
normal sim record on someone.
So for Felix, you get truncated. Terra, human, born, missing, rugged individualist, opposed to centralization and galactic authority. Spouse, Annette Rose. You follow up at home.
Yes.
I'm just gonna say it's like relevant nouns here. So Camden Arwin, Sorry Prime, was a xenobiologist for the Gentatech. Do we know Gentatech?
It's a corporation you've heard of. They're a big corporation. They're a megacorp.
Ganari Pool, spouse. Let's see. Spouse Coney Ba. I'm just mentioning the things that, like, not listing their born on dates, whatever.
Yeah.
It's a Matokai who worked on the Freesis project, who moved to Core. Okay, so this is Kotukai Etin.
Core is one of the words mentioned.
Right, so Kotukai Etin, we want to mark that here. That's this person is it says right there, assumed to Core. So that's the Icorian. Corite? Tricore Station. Do we know where that is? Is that the one by the Dendis planet?
It's in Soren, in the Soren system.
Bellari, or it's up in Bellari. In Stations Director of Income and Taxation. I bet that's exciting. From for a long time. Assumed dead. Here's another one. Might be missing important data, but spacecraft Paracol, Promethean. A lot of people have disappeared. The Ranger Tachi was lost in the deep core. Rangar Tachi. Weaponsmith for Celsia. Oh, Jace Jones, Promethean. Died homeless. Here's an Ashen Forged. Died in work accident when antimatter exploded on one-man ship. Sounds sketchy. Adeptus. Another Adeptus. They don't seem to have hardly any information about them. Nothing, so I might have missed important stuff here, but so far, besides the fact that one of them is on Core, I haven't found anything that I really care about here. Here is Scifi Zumira Scifi, Silrain Prime Homeworld, species Eldori, born 5901, died unknown. 216 years old, according to this. Retired. Living in medical facility for the infirm. Previously was medical researcher for BioWakened Incorporation. Spouse and one child deceased. The Conclave. Kesh. Velna. Lauren Ja. Yeah. Okay. So it sounds like, okay, there's much more information. We've learned the details of Zamira Scifi, and we learned a little bit more that there were two Quarians, Kotu Kai and Etin and Felix Rose. We could ask her, if we do a regular, I'm sorry, could you double check, is the Mato Kai have a full sim search available or not? It says full sim available, so could we search that guy up?
Which one?
The Mato Kai who went to Core, Kotu Kai Etin.
Yeah.
I'm just like, him and Felix Rose are the only ones that were in this system, it seems. And since we're here, maybe we can inquire.
Yeah, he was, he did a lot of exploration work on Freesis proper during the middle tier terraforming work. He was an engineer and did a lot of work with that, helping with the terraforming efforts on Freesis. Not pre, the population being brought, but early, when the population was being brought, beyond scientists and engineers. He was part of the team that was bringing homesteaders. People were coming here to build homes.
And I guess he's deceased?
He's deceased, yeah. Montakai don't live super long.
Intriguing. We are armed with more info, but it is like a dull blade. Not enough to do any real damage with.
Yeah, I mean, I don't... It's. I mean, one thing that's interesting is we now can see which ones have info on the web and which don't. But I don't know I'm not seeing like a pattern for that.
Tomorrow comes back, well, this data was copied, that wasn't a whole lot or super complex.
He's got all the data?
Yeah.
So I say we wreck the hard drive out of that thing, and then we go to the Romanovs, give them the computer without a hard drive, and tell them that we're not going to do the one job, but we're happy to remain on a business associate. And then we go to the other people and we say, okay, how do you feel about that? Since you weren't privy to the conversation about Aetheron. I mean, Kelvin would definitely explain this and ask your opinion.
And Marl, Thompson, you need to meet them. You have good insight on people, and they're an unknown entity at this point. We know very little.
True.
And I would like to meet them before it becomes a good decision.
I think that's wise. You ready to do it?
We are as ready as we will be.
Alright. Let's head on out. I suppose, or we could contact them and say we need us at a particular location, or should we connect?
They said they would be waiting in the bar. They would continue waiting there.
Let's go get a drink. Again.
You know, just like D&D. Everything.
In the
all
tavern.
around
It all
the
comes
tavern.
back to the bar.
We'll all meet in a tavern.
This is actually only like the second tavern or bar that you guys have gone to, other than Space Vegas.
You went to Space Vegas.
That one, you really definitely hit that one hard.
We want good money there.
You did.
Two scientists and a trigger-happy grenadist walk into a bar.
Excuse me, I'm not trigger happy.
Nobody walks out. They claw their way out with the remaining arms and torso that they have left.
Excuse us, those are our arms now.
And you get
Well
in
armed.
there.
We have the right to bear arms. Look at these bare
Even
arms.
other people's arms.
Yeah, that's right.
They're here. And the Valna comes up. You must be Annalie, correct?
Dr. Scifi, yes.
Come. We have not had drinks with you.
They like to do this.
Alright.
We're very excited to meet you. We've met the rest of your compatriots.
I do not have the pleasure of knowing about you.
I'm Baka, and this is my associate Leo.
Charmed.
And Leo's a human. This one's not human, it's a cat person.
Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, the cat people.
And she seems very lithe and prepared for physical altercations.
I'll give you that idea. We've talked it over.
You did.
We're gonna play nice.
You did
until
have
we no longer play nice.
altercations.
So yeah, they explained to us a little bit about what they were offering in exchange for our.
Bartender, we're gonna sit over here. Can you just bring us a bottle? What do you like to drink?
What do Eldor normally like to drink?
They have their own liquor, some kind of Eldorian liquor. What's a good name for an Eldorian liquor? You make it up.
Oh gosh, put on the spot.
Squid.
She's called Eldorian wine or something. Eldorian ale.
Thanks, Romulus.
Tori.
Excellent. Tori. The blue stuff though, not the green.
Yeah.
We don't want the green.
No, not the green.
And you know, the green is like low. You know, it's like well drinks.
Nobody drinks green Tory.
He's got a bobbit worm floating.
You never drink Tori. You don't know it.
I don't. Or she. I never drink it. Stick to the harder stuff.
Oh, wait till you have Tori. I've never had Tori either, so.
Oh, we were going to ask, have you had Tori?
No, I've never been to Eldori.
Where have we?
Aldori are,
They bring over a bottle. Sit. And Leo goes in first, so that Vodka can sit to the outside.
Well, would you like to explain to Dr. Scifi what it is that you were proposing?
Is Marl coming?
Oh, Marl is working on some stuff at the ship.
Very
With
sensitive.
Jack.
Yeah. So, tell us about yourself.
I'm a doctor.
Something better than that. We know you're a doctor.
I'm also a scientist.
That's a little more interesting. What kind of science? Biomedical? Anything else?
A little bit of xenobiology.
Have you had an opportunity to put that to good use anywhere?
Oh, interesting question.
Very pointed,
I
Jack.
am well traveled, so a little bit here and there I've picked up on some new techniques.
Nice. Always good to be learning more.
Yes, I do love more knowledge.
It seems to be par for the course for your group. That's why you're a perfect fit, I suppose.
Perhaps.
You must ask the question, perfect fit for what? Together?
I assume that's what they meant.
What do you mean for you guys? So, I want to circle back to that. You can get us out of here and give us new identities, and also maybe access to some, I don't know, research facilities or resources or something. And what exactly was it that we were supposed to provide in exchange? That was the part I'm hazy on. We do have some data from an
Yes,
old
the
device.
data is important
We
to
can
us.
provide you, yes.
But, you know, the data is data. The most important thing someone can bring into an agreement is themselves.
It would have to be
Their functional
conditional.
capacities, their ability to affect change, their ability to lead or guide or understand complex situations and make heads or tails of it.
Calrin's like looking at. Now we spoke, and any
Sounds like you're still speaking.
agreement would have to be conditional. You see, we had a business
They're
agreement.
not done thinking about this.
No, I think we're done.
And she says it loud enough that it's obvious that she's saying it. And when she says it, she kind of looks at you for a moment. I don't think they're quite done yet thinking about it.
Well,
No,
that's
they're
why Dr.
not.
Scifi is involved here. We need her to
Yes.
make her own mind.
Yes.
We spoke
Is it
about
her
it.
own mind, or is she sort of acting as your moral compass at the moment? That's the question that we're asking ourselves.
Our moral compass is very intact, thank you.
Just doesn't have any hands.
I was just spinning wildly.
So, I mean, do you have any questions? Because I think I'm comfortable going forward, and I think our friend here is uncomfortable going forward, but might be drug along. How do you feel about it?
More likely as to the group's decision at such point that it becomes
Out
irrevocable.
of character question, what specifically did you tell her about this whole situation?
So I said that these people are some sort of anti-Silrain galactic government organization, but that they have come to us because we've been basically doing a lot of kind of counter-governmental activity here, and that Silrain Arc is in bed with the Dubois and have been kind of not doing right by the people here, and so they thought we would be kindred spirits or something. They have offered to get us out of the system safely and secretly, to give us new identities, to give us research or information we might want. And we are going to give them this data that
I hope without my grandmother's name on.
they already know. They already
They know
mentioned
about my
her.
grandmother.
Didn't they already mention? Yeah, they already named her because they were like, yeah, they specifically already name dropped her. Because I think they actually know most of this data already. Because this is data on their own
I know
members.
at least some of it, you just don't know.
Oh, so this is their information.
Yeah.
They want back.
Yes, because this guy who had the plane, he was a member of their organization like 100 years ago. And he hid this information from the sim because they're secretive and they don't want their information getting out there publicly.
So
Anti-government revolutionaries tend to be very secretive when they're plotting against the government.
according to his data, my great grandmother was part of this.
Yes.
That's
Seems
what it seems like.
What it appears to be
It says in the thing that she was initiated
initiated.
at some point.
Was there anything passed down by family, like a type of strong moral code or an idea?
Absolutely.
What was it?
Self-reliance, the ability to understand complex issues before acting on them, the things that your character already feels. Strong ethics,
Which I inherited.
value of life.
So I know this is passed down to.
But you don't know if they came from your great grandmother, could come from your mother or your grandmother.
Yeah.
It definitely came from your mother and father, but probably more so from your mother.
Man, I would really have liked to talk to my great grandmother before coming to this meeting, but okay.
we could go visit her with their help. Otherwise we can't get out of the system because we're wanted criminals and you have to go through the crucible to get out.
A harder prospect.
Well, you guys are wanted criminals. I don't think I have been implemented into the wanted criminals yet.
We hate to tell you this, but you're in for a cubal.
Yeah, but it's just like,
And for more pupils.
You have been seen with us. You are a wanted associate.
I have been seeing, but has I gotten out yet? It's a real question.
Speed of light technology.
Or I will say that there was a video of us all flying in a plane and crashing into it and getting out that's all over the galaxy.
Okay, then that makes things a little
That's
bit
definitely an accomplice in something. Not necessarily a crime.
I mean, you are free to take
There
your,
may be a property
Okay.
dispute on the plane, but
you are free to
that's
take
related.
your claims up in the court. We are waiting for a change in jurisdiction to do that first. We
Yeah.
do not believe you will get a fair trial.
You are at least leverageable by whomever is taking you to court,
Okay.
even if
So-
you're not guilty of anything.
So if that's viral, then I am probably in danger
You're on the
of
poop list.
being also put as a wanted criminal. Okay.
That's not even counting the illegal things they want to do to you. That they don't do via the proper law and order.
And of course, the Dubois, with, we think, Silrain's approval, were experimenting on these two. That's we liberated them from.
What's my family's stance on like
I think Silverman is just
the government?
passively proper. Profiting from it, not something
Yeah, they often said that
we don't know.
you should take care to do the right stuff, and the government will stay out of your way most of the time. And when they're not, they're really just after taxes usually.
Space libertarians.
But they're not anti-government. Don't get me wrong. They were not anti-government that you thinking back that you don't remember them being anti-government. They just believed in you becoming a great person.
You can be anything you want when you grow up.
I want to be a government stooge.
You can, well, you can be
Except
almost
that.
anything you want.
Beat him.
So I would assume a fairly normal Eldorian way of thinking of government. Okay, but basically it's
They
like,
value the collective more than the government as the collective.
okay, makes sense.
Family and community is more important than the government.
I should also say something that I don't think we characters and certainly we players know what's really going on with this galactic government. If they're good guys or bad guys.
It's so distant for most people.
Right.
The government, the galactic government is so big, but it's also so distant to most people.
And we actually don't know specifically what the ideology is of this Aetheron, other than that they oppose something
It's
to
like
do with
living
the
in
government.
Guam and trying to understand the U.S. code of laws here.
And we like Aetheron, we don't know if they advocate violence or peaceful change or just the free exchange of information that's not supposed to be exchanged. You know, we don't know. I mean, that's one thing we should probably learn.
Yeah, this
Do you guys
was.
have like a handbook or?
Can we have some pamphlets?
Yeah, do you have any
Do
literature?
you have any
you can share?
literature? This is the point that Soren brought up.
Do you have a manifesto?
These are unknown entities who are. And the only thing we really know about them is they are not happy with centralized authority of the government.
We don't know what that means yet.
Yeah, we don't know. Yeah, you're right. We don't know how unhappy they are.
I mean, at this point, Kelrin's like just wants to get out of Dodge.
Oh
but
yeah. It's
we
not-
could. I mean, we can ask him what they would think about this stuff. What do you think, Dr. Scifi?
We have already acquiesced to the group despite our protests.
Do you think your grandmother would be involved in something, like sketchy?
200 years is a very long time.
By the time I knew her, I doubt she would have shown any part of that side to her granddaughter.
Yeah, she
So
was
I
really
can't
old.
say for sure.
She was old your whole life.
Yeah,
Some
her
people
whole life
just-
she was old. But her daughter and her husband.
It's good stuff.
How do I know that my great grandfather and my grandmother died?
Well, your great grandmother didn't. That's the one that's alive.
No, my grandmother.
But your
Her
grandmother.
daughter and her husband. How did they die?
Your grandmother died of old age.
Old age.
Yeah. Your grandfather in a work accident. But you were older. It wasn't like you died when you were a kid.
So I knew them. Were they adventurous?
Were they what?
Adventurous, like type of people.
They traveled a lot. Hard to tell if that means you're an adventurer.
Are we adventurers?
Was I close to them, or
Yeah,
so
they traveled quite a bit.
Question we ask
were they like
ourselves every
open-minded
day.
people?
Each day
Yeah,
we do
and
a
they
checklist.
traveled
The checklist says
Sometimes
are we
together,
baddies, yes or
sometimes
no?
alone.
So far we've
You know,
no.
for whatever work or. I mean, they vacation together most of the time.
To be fair,
but
we
they
probably
travel
keep checking no anyway.
for work on their own all the time, and occasionally we'll go to conferences
We're
and
here,
stuff
guys.
like that, like other people do.
Smother.
I see.
Same
Rubbing
with
the
your mother.
ashes onto his face.
What was their occupation?
They were in the medical field.
So
It's like a family thing.
It's a family
Absolutely.
thing. We're all
Yeah, and the great grandmother was
It
too.
actually started with your great grandmother,
Because that was her.
who worked for Genentech,
Yeah, she did genetic stuff.
and she was the first scientist in your family that you know of. Medical scientist.
It sounds more and more like I'm just like my great grandmother then.
You are.
BioAwakened. Is that a company we've heard of?
I'm sorry, not Gen. Right, BioAwaken.
Is that a company we've heard of?
You haven't, but she has. They're not a small company.
Are they on the big list of companies?
Based off of what you just told me and what I know about my
Okay,
character,
there they are.
I would like to make an insight check on these people now that I met them.
Okay.
Can I give myself amplifiability?
Sure. I'll let you do that. What are you trying to insight about them?
Genetic engineering, robotics, and pharmaceuticals.
Specifically,
Together.
On their home world of Eldor, run by the Eldori.
if they mean us any ill will, basically.
Okay.
Not that they can be trusted, because nobody shady can be trusted. But do they mean us harm, or do they genuinely like
Hate to tell
want
you,
to make
you're
a
in the
deal
bar
with
with shady
us?
people.
19.
They seem to legitimately not be trying to put you into a position of harm or trying to harm you. They seem to be actually interested in you as people and potentially as recruits.
So,
You probably got the same feeling though about the recruiting part from the Romanovs. They genuinely wanted to recruit you too, it seemed.
yeah, of course.
And they, at that point at least, didn't mean you any harm.
You're in demand.
You are in demand. You have a special skill set.
We're competent.
I have a particular set of skills.
We wish we could set better prices.
Yeah, right? So,
You've been offered some good prices recently.
yeah, for good work too. And not so good work. Halloran's gonna look at you and say, how do you feel about this? I'd like to know more about their beliefs.
That's what I.
So what do you want to know?
Well, I mean, what
I mean,
what do you
what do I have
stand
to
for?
do, what do I have to do to convince you? We've offered you good money.
Well,
We've offered you an out from a system that is
I need
definitely
a clean conscience. You
We
opposed to
can't
Ray.
actually change your past.
No, I'm talking about what I'm committing to going forward. One reason why we're not betting in bed with the Romanovs is because they wanted us to perform acts we're not comfortable with.
We're not looking for you to do anything unlike what you've done already.
Well, I guess I'm kind of curious about what you guys do. How do you oppose the Silrain government? Bombs? Propaganda? Subtle political manipulations? Freedom of speech protests?
We're interested in you because you have a skill set that's very unique and can put you into positions to enact change in places that need it.
We hurt people real good.
Well, that's one way you can change things. Oh, well, if you
It's
mean
not
like
only that.
if you mean like overthrowing people like the Dubois, I'm on board with that.
You're also capable of extracting people and documents from very difficult places.
Well, that is true.
You are capable of creating, giving potency to rebellious factions that are rightly rebelling.
I fashion myself a freedom fighter. I don't know about you guys. I mean, mostly in the hypothetical.
Of course.
So have you told your compatriot Annalie about Tusk?
What happened to him? Did we tell you about Tusk?
Did you?
Well, we can tell you now. So we were on the planet of Freesis, and shortly after we met, and then when we hooked up with Jack, we were working with a friend named Tusk, and he was a salvage guy, and we were salvaging the ship that we were on now, and the Dubois wanted it, and so they took Tusk's son, Tusk Jr., and they scrambled his brain with the technology that the Romanovs kind of want us to steal and use, and programmed him to kill his own father and then himself. They were our friends. That's why I will always hate the Dubois, and I don't care for the Silrain government if they're in bed with and supporting the Dubois either. But that's one of the reasons why I wasn't particularly comfortable with the Romanovs, because that was not nice.
I was about to ask how they knew that, but then I remember we sort of broadcasted all that info. I was like, oh yeah, that's right, we did say something about that.
You've actually broadcast quite a bit.
Yeah.
We aired that. We
Several
set it out on the
times.
sim. We did a WikiLeaks dump or something. So yeah, that was what happened to them.
I see.
And we're opposed to what the Dubois did and are continuing to do even now.
What is your?
But they're not the only people in this galaxy doing things like that to people that don't deserve it.
What is your plan?
I don't set the agenda. That's above
No.
us.
But I'm sure you have some idea of it. You can't just take people doing bad things in power, take them out of power, and not replace them or the way of things.
That's true.
So I assume there's some type
We've
of
had some successes in the past with doing that.
as examples,
I can't give that to you.
understandable.
I mean, if we are able to walk away at any time,
You're criminals because Silrain, the government from Silrain Prime came in and made a deal with the Dubois. Criminals. doing horrible things to scrappers making a living.
And Rafe. That's another friend of ours. They cord their head.
I'm not saying that we're angels, because that's not the case. But we're definitely not the devils in this.
See, the devil you know versus the not really a devil you don't know.
We
They
are
could
sure.
just be really good recruiters.
Yeah.
We have already acquiesced to the group's decision.
Yeah, and Kelrin's already decided. He's like, sure, let's do this. Cool, it'll be awesome. And so, but, he's not gonna.
What was the specific? Like, we exchanged information to get out of here and new identities, and that was it.
That's it. Yeah.
That's what we want, yeah.
I mean, that's what they said that they would do.
That is what they said they would do. We exchange the information, we get out, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then if, we want to remain friends with them, we can. But we haven't probably.
There are no strings attached to that assistance.
No, that's what they said. So it seems like a better deal than staying here and having literally no friends. Maybe the Romanovs aren't angry at us for saying no, but maybe they are. I don't know what for them. Says Calvary.
You guys know that Amelie's were not comfortable being part of the Russian mob at all.
Well, none of them are except.
Yeah, I think there's a
Except
consensus,
for-
a minus
He's
one.
the only one who's comfortable with it.
Not that he's comfortable, it's he knows what he's dealing
He
with.
does. That gives him comfort.
It does.
Yeah, he knows he can put a sofa on the way to the bathroom and hide it there.
They'll never get me here. Initiate flush protocols.
One day he's gonna buy weapon furniture, like place to actually hang in, put it away rather than in the bathtub.
One
That's
day.
too complicated.
One day, but today is not this day.
It's not.
Urban tactical sofa. I like it.
We leave the hidden grenades in the what's the thing where you not the toilet itself but the tank. Just lift up, reach in.
Yeah, you're like an alcoholic, but for bombs.
There's also a small pistol duct taped in there. Sorry, sorium taped in there.
And you get a message on your. Let me know when you'd like to meet, Ivana.
You should do that too.
You do what? Are you saying that to anybody?
I say that out loud, and you guys are like, "What are you talking about?" Oh well, we have another meeting we should go to shortly. Would you like some time to think about this, or do you want to ask any other questions?
I've made my decision.
Well,
I think we should proceed.
alright. Give them.
How long until our vessel is ready?
We'll call for it. It's already in system.
No, I mean our vessel. We're doing repairs on it.
You're a few days away from that.
So, how would that work? I'm asking you that now. How would that work? Our vessel would have to be visible, or would we put our vessel inside of your vessel?
We have a cargo ship that we'll put it into. The ship currently is collecting ores from Tsar.
Interesting friends. All right, so, all right, well, if in a few days, when our ship's repairs are finished, then we'll be ready to depart, I assume. You know how to contact us, yes?
We do.
So remember that other meeting that we said we should have to do? That's what that was about.
Yes, we figured that was.
No, the other one. You remember the one with the other people?
Yes, we
About
know.
the thing
We know which
that
one.
we did the thing with?
Yes.
You know what
Please.
I'm talking about, right?
Cease pantomiming.
Okay. Just making sure.
You can't help it. Never mind.
Cease pantomiming. Enough. Enough of this chicanery, I say. We will space all mine.
Alright. All right.
We will be in touch.
Terrific. Anything in the meantime, you know where to find us.
Good. Calvin gets up, starts to walk out. Comes
Take
back.
the rest of your drink. They give you the bottle.
What does Tori taste like?
Probably a sweet, not wine, but kind of
A liqueur, like a
liqueur,
cordial.
right, more like a cordial.
tastes.
Goes down
Maybe it tastes like
smooth.
schnapps.
Sweeter and delicate, more delicate, like peach schnapps or something, but not peach.
Goes down smooth.
It can be. You can drink a lot of it before you realize you're really drunk.
I
Yeah.
imagine it has a low alcohol content.
I'm sure Annalie has experienced that firsthand.
Oh, this isn't
Medical
bad.
school was stressful.
Yeah, I believe it.
Probably failed a test or two because of it.
She comes from a prestigious
Maybe not.
family. There's a lot of expectations on her
You know,
shoulder.
Right? Yeah,
I
right.
mean, failed means a B minus, but
Yes, it
You-
does.
that's a
My
failure.
my family was definitely the Asian family of the
So
story.
is it? Yeah, you had a tiger mom. So is it like you went to the school and the school like the building was named after your family? Like,
Was it?
no.
No.
No, they're good. They've all been good practitioners, but none of them seeked fame. So they didn't go looking for it, so they didn't get it.
I think Annalie kind of did, at least early on.
They more seeked to be excellent at it.
Yeah, no, that was the whole.
And you do get a bit of, industry fame that way within your field.
So within the circles,
Yeah, your name's known.
my name's known. Okay. Which was the whole point of
Yeah,
being
but
excellent.
it's not the same thing as fame. It's
Yeah.
it's niche fame.
Yes. I was in the cool kids club.
Was? What are you talking about?
We aren't cool.
My mom said I was cool.
We're the rebel kids right now.
I'm down with that.
That's not the cool kid club. That's
That's
the
the actually cool kids. Come on.
that's the kids that say the cool kids are nerds. And we're the actual cool kids.
That was the name of my high school club. Oh,
The nerds are saying that everyone else is nerds.
Yeah.
And you head out. What are you doing? Where are you going?
I took the drink.
I guess.
the bottle.
So once we step out, Kelrin's like, guys, I was talking about the Romanovs. That's who we're supposed to meet now.
Really? I thought you meant with your massage therapist.
No, that's later.
Oh.
All right. So I should text her. I should message, communicate, calm her. I don't know. I should tell her we're gonna meet. Let's swing by and pick up the old machine.
Yes. Inform her that we are coming to meet. We are bringing the machine.
Before you do that, what is our plan B?
Plan B for what?
Plan B. This is not that kind of group.
Yeah.
There's no plan B.
Improvise.
Annalie always has plan B. In case, they don't take no for an answer.
We killed him.
Well, we could get on our ship and hide out in space for a little while. They can't see us very easily.
Well, if you're talking about the immediate
Oh, but then they can't do the repairs.
if you're talking about the immediate ramifications of that is something we can handle in the forms of self-defense. If you're talking long-term ramifications, that is another problem.
So it's going to be
Short term.
several days
We
until
killed
the anti-grav is
Oh.
ready.
Yeah.
We could.
With our hands, with knives, guns. There are a lot of ways to do it. You are a doctor. You are aware of how many ways someone can expire.
Yes, I just know they have more people on their side.
Yes, but they don't have more people at the moment.
Well, that here I think is the thing. So what here? But we could delay with Ivana
Why?
until we're ready to leave. So we say no and then we leave.
The only problem with that is we are expected, and we gave the
Yeah. Right.
indication that we would be ready to speak.
Okay. Well, then let's speak. And if they
We
say
have
no,
We have made our bed. We have made our rucksack. Let us sleep in it.
you could bring some grenades in case they say no.
Oh, we can bring. We have your permission to bring the grenades.
Yeah.
Do we have your permission to bring the heavy rifle?
You don't need my
I
permission.
think that was a little bit too obvious bringing in.
Do we have your permission for the sniper rifle? It collapses.
And you can hide it?
Not very well.
It's totally normal
You
to
can hide
walk
just like
around
a
with.
musician can hide their tuba.
Yeah, I'm saying a guitar case walking through the.
two guitar cases and a drum kit on the back. Do not mind us. We are a one-man band.
And a humpback.
Yeah.
We are a one-man band. Oh, really? What do you?
Something a little less ostentatious.
He's like, well,
Yeah.
let me consult the armory. Well, yeah, you decide what you want to wear.
More grenades.
Grenades are good. They can just fit in pockets.
Even more
Cool.
grenades. That
He does like grenades.
he does.
We got a
You
new one.
permission to use them.
He likes indiscriminate
it's plain-
weapons.
Listen,
Excuse me. I like using the indiscriminate weapons discriminately. You see, I take pride in the fact that I don't make casualties with my grenades. Or unintended
Yeah, I was
casualties.
gonna say.
so
Grenades are
basically,
bad on space stations and
Yeah.
spaceships though.
FYI, yeah.
Yeah, we do have stun grenades.
okay, Ottoman can
We'll leave the
be
white
down for
phosphorus
this,
grenade at home.
that Soren's a complete person is plan B, and we'll just go with that.
Okay. There's our plan B.
Plan B.
That is usually how it works out.
Actually, it's
Extricate
totally-
us. Help.
Now what?
We go meet our next
Oh,
appointment.
won't you do that voodoo? You do so well. Alright, so let's go meet the Romanos.
Stop by the ship,
And meet the device.
visit the bathtub, and then go there.
Do we have time for a bath? I mean,
The bathtub.
Grenade
oh, the
tub.
grenade.
There's more than grenades in the tub.
Do you bathe with the grenades?
No, that's silly.
Yeah. What am I thinking?
We'll be right back.
Alright, so while that's happening, I'm checking with Marl and Boots and make sure that they have rendered the laptop, not having any of the data.
Yeah, and I shoved a bunch of dirt in there, made it look like it was all in the accident. It's good. It's good.
Did you hit it?
Oh yeah, and the thing is like bent. And you can tell where the drive was bent in half.
So it snapped the disks and
Yes.
deleted the data and all that
Yeah.
sort of stuff. Okay. Because I was told that's literally the only way to permanently and perfectly remove data from a hard drive is shatter it.
Okay.
You can't fix it with the FBI with that.
Not today, Mr. FBI man. Okay. We have 4 stun grenades, 6 throwing knives.
The menu.
And how do you distribute all these food?
No, he keeps them. He's plan B.
One for me, none for you. One for me, none for you. One for me.
I mean, if you want some, we'd
Two
be
for me,
willing.
none for you.
We'd be willing to give you some. We just think we should leave the frag and the white phosphorus at home.
That's color with the grenade. I'll roll my athletics. Oh, I should roll. I rolled it.
We will see about getting you a grenade launcher. Then you won't have to.
I'm definitely fully equipped myself, but then again, I usually always am. I don't leave my equipment home.
Yeah.
Oh, five
Red bag.
restraints.
Etc. Yeah.
Well, like the
Like
plastic
legs.
zip
He
ties.
says he's got 5 sets of restraints.
The plastic
Zip
zip
ties.
ties. Yep.
No.
He uses them in the
Plastic.
bathtub. I don't know.
Oh. No, those are just on person.
Oh, okay.
I have my suit on,
I'll just bring the shotgun.
You're an EVA? I'm
which
just.
I tend to do when leaving
No,
the ship.
you feel like,
Honestly,
I don't trust you people.
Listen.
I don't blame you.
She is
been a
now
rough
a
couple
wanted
days.
criminal. She walked into this accidentally and on purpose.
I have my little scientist
She's a
kid.
humanitarian criminal.
Yeah, other than that, I just walk around.
Was Gandhi really a criminal? What about Nelson Mandela? Well, actually,
Technically, yes, they were jailed.
they actually were.
Yeah, no, strictly speaking, the law might have been unjust, but they did break it. Right.
So you
yeah.
get your stuff together and you head out.
We should probably buy a pistol at some point.
I have a knife.
She
We have many. Would
She
you like
sends
one?
directions. She sends directions to her office.
Is it in like a regular public area?
No,
Never been called it. Never had much use.
a swank,
Too small.
set aside, high end.
I like it. It lets me.
So I guess,
Fair enough.
Kelrin's feeling a little paranoid, so he's gonna worry about like, we walk in, like, is this, as we're walking up, I can imagine in the elevator, we're sitting there. And Kelrin's like, is this one of those times when we should like make sure we have an exit?
Yes.
Plan B.
You gonna like Kool-Aid Man it through the wall if they lock the door? Or
Oh,
what?
yeah.
We would like to, but
I read about Kool-Aid in my Terran history book I found
It was
yesterday.
made in the same era as Jello.
Yeah, it's liquid Jello, I think.
Plan B does not have a
Isn't
sword
Jello
like
already-
shape in the wall. I'd be sorely disappointed.
But the question is the Kool-Aid man the jar or the Kool-Aid?
we're not ready for this philosophical quandary. We feel he is a symbiosis.
Okay, fair. So,
And you head to that area.
Yep.
Leave the ship and head out that way.
Carrying the bag.
You make a turn to an area where the doors are restricted. There's a device for buzzing, like the buzzer wave.
Hello?
Can I help you?
We're here to see Ivana.
We have an appointment.
Ivana Zanetta?
The one.
Yes.
Let me see if she's available. Give me one moment. And who's calling? Who is this?
Hi, I'm Kel Ganrick. And my associates.
Well, there's two other people.
Anli Safi and
1479 Soren.
And the doors open. They open really slowly and
Dr. Safi. I went to school for.
And there's a long hallway with, it looks like fire, like torches, but it's not torches. It's a hologram of it to make it look like it. The hallway's really pretty. At the end is these just big, tall doors, kind of ornate, red with gold on them, gold leaf, or just gold.
Fancy. Second Aldori thing.
No, this is.
Oh no, we're the Romanov thing.
This is
Romanov
Romanov. Well, this is Romanov 101.
Yeah, red and gold too. Yeah, right. That's the colors. All right. Well.
And as you walk down the hall, towards the end of the hall by the doors, you hadn't noticed before, but there were some alcoves where the doors had two men step out, and they're armed. You need to leave your arms behind.
Pull out the throwing knife I have.
And
There you
there's,
go.
and there's a table there. You can put your weaponry there.
Have you ever had to do this before with them?
Not
Yes.
with. We've never met this woman, but with the Romanovs in the past. Yeah.
Yes. This is something that has been done, and each time it makes someone uncomfortable.
It's never caused you a problem before.
Yeah.
Never. Why would it happen this time?
We're only gonna tell them no for the first time. It'll be fine.
We're coming back.
This is that scene where.
Some-
Hold on. There's like 14 things.
Yeah, and they have face plates. You can't really see their faces. But they're armored and armed.
I'm gonna put everything in, including the boot knife. I'm gonna see beforehand. Could I have secreted at least 3 of the throwing knives on me and just somewhere in the prison pouch or somewhere?
Oh my.
I'll roll for a subterfuge, I believe.
Yep, go for it. And you had time, so you had an advantage actually.
Advantage,
I know, a rarity
a rarity.
for hiding weapons.
Right?
Well,
6.
no, 23.
Yeah.
What would that mean?
They
Even
pull out a
6 on
wand,
hiding that there.
And they kind of run it over you guys. All right, they're clear.
So
You know that's a chemical sniffer.
the
I keep my weapons hidden in my medical bag.
What kind of weapons?
I had a short blade and a light pistol.
You have something in your bag that you forgot, man.
best to be courteous.
Make me a perception check.
Can I
So
amplify
I have-
ability?
If you want.
I have 3 knives for each of us.
That's useful.
No, you misunderstand. We're not good.
19.
There are no secrets being left behind.
When you
No, I'm kidding.
when they say that and you look over the table, in your head you like all the weapons, you're like, there's some daggers missing.
Swords, knives, I'm missing.
Swords, knives are not in there.
I take out the pistol and I put it down.
Alright, she's cleaned up. Did you try and
No. I had a throwing knife. I'm like,
Okay.
here you go. I never use that.
and the door's open and as it opens, you realize from the edge of the door that you can see that it's got a metal inside the door, and the wood, the enameled wood is a facade to something a little stronger than that.
Then a wood door, right?
Yeah.
Not very high security. All right.
And you go in and there's these windows that wrap all the way around that are floor to ceiling, a beautiful landscape. You know, looking out on a beautiful landscape and what looks like steps. And a big beast comes up to you.
Who?
There's like a furry animal that maybe about 170, 180 pounds.
It's bigger than me.
And then
Is this
a little further, it's a bear dog. There's another one that comes up. Leave them. Come. Come, they will not harm you. Those are bear dogs from Russia.
Bear dogs?
We heard
Magnificent beasts.
they are very large.
Yeah, they're
Right?
They can.
They can't bite?
From what we have
Do
heard.
these dogs bite? Is that there's somebody here, a guard or a woman?
You hear that from somebody down in the other end of the room, and then a chair turns and this woman stands up. And she looks like
Does your dog bite? No.
That just
No,
drives my dog. Yeah.
that's
Wow. That's pretty fantastic.
Suddenly cyberpunk. Suddenly cyberpunk.
Yeah.
She could be a Romanov family employee for sure.
When you say, can they bite? Scifi said, anything with a mouth and teeth can bite.
Are they well trained not to bite me? I'm really
they
concerned.
will not
about-
harm you if I tell them not to.
Okay, please tell them not to.
I have.
Thank you.
Come, sit.
May I?
I'm so excited. You may what? Pet them?
Pet the dog.
First,
Of course.
she lets them sniff her.
And the other one comes up and smells around you and sniffs, and then they follow you.
She's like slowly,
It's more like this
yeah,
than like this.
slowly just like gentle.
Come sit, I have chairs for you.
All right.
Good. We would hate to sit on the
Walk
floor.
slowly, walk slowly. Touch it.
And she brings over a bottle and some glasses,
Oh, more booze.
and she pours some clear liquid in them. This will be for later.
It is vodka.
Potato juice. All right.
Potato juice.
We have. Yes. Hello.
I'm very excited to meet you. You're missing some people though.
Yeah, there's back at the ship doing some repairs. That's okay.
Some maintenance. We have been designated as the group to meet.
So, not being familiar with you, I don't know your names.
Oh,
we
forgive us.
apologize.
We are 1479 Soren.
Keller and Ganrick.
Dr. Ronald something.
Very pleased to meet you.
Likewise.
I'm Ivana Zanetta. I'm the business director for the Romanov Corporation here, for Romanov Holdings on Deep Wind.
Wonderful to meet you.
I hear that, I mean, before we get down to business, I hear that you have done amazing work for Vanya. She's so pleased to have met you and worked with you.
He has been a very gracious employer.
And from Fedka, the same came from her also. No, I'm sorry, from him.
Yes.
Currently,
Still him. Yes.
yes.
So we.
And a good-looking one, I have to say.
That's,
We will take your opinion on this.
And then a person comes over and whispers something in her ear. One moment, I'll be right back. And she steps out and it goes into another room that's off to the side with this other person. And
Is there food on the table?
no, what's on the table is the drinks.
Just drinks.
And no, there's also a folder with some paper in it of some kind. Make a perception check. Just you. Actually, no, you two, both of you. And there is a cred stick.
15.
12.
Okay. A cred stick and her a tablet for communication and stuff.
Is there anything visible on the tablet or the pieces of paper or the cred stick?
The tablet, no, it's waiting for access. There is, it's the sheet laid out like that. Don't open it. Is like that,
Yep, that's a scientist.
and that is Albert.
Dun dun dun!
Oh
The situation
no!
has changed. The situation has changed.
No, it has not.
Yes, it has.
No, it has
He
not.
is on the list. The list must be adhered to.
Look, the list can be done on our own time, not their directive.
Oh, so you don't have a problem with murdering someone, you just don't want to get paid for it.
Yeah, it's, you're doing it in your own time, you're not a professional.
We consider ourselves a professional.
And she comes back in for a moment. Excuse me one moment. I have to take another call. It'll take you 5 or 10 minutes. It's with Vanya, and I really must take it. I'll be right back.
Give them our
Do you
best.
need anything while I step out?
We are fine.
Food.
What food? Didn't we already?
You're hungry? I
Did we not eat already?
What?
I'm craving.
After all that Tory, you know.
Do you like caviar?
I was in a mood for some type of meat.
It is the eggs of fish. Do you know what a fish is?
I do.
It's one of those things that fly,
I'll have
right?
some
Yeah.
brought for us to enjoy during our meeting.
Appreciate
And she heads out. You're gonna be so disappointed when you see how little there is.
Yeah.
It's a little tiny jar. And some crackers.
Wait a second. Are these Ritz crackers?
Does
You think the Russian mob
is
is screaming for something more than
So you have a few minutes to sit there and stare at that.
Is there anyone else in the room?
No, the dogs.
Are
One
we
of the
going?
dogs puts his paw on you.
Are
And
we-
then like puts his weight on you. You're like, oh my god.
Very heavy.
And they're super furry, like heavy fur.
She's doing
why
the
they're called
whole
bear
like
dogs. They're
rub
like bears.
down that dogs love.
Loves it. And then the other
I'm sure
one
there's
gets
fur
jealous.
going.
Yeah,
Goes
right?
to the other side.
You're probably well groomed though.
Yeah, they're perfectly groomed. The other one comes to the other side. Puts their weight on you. You're like, oh my god, they're so heavy.
Are we going to talk about the 500-pound Gorthanki in the room?
I do see Albert's face there, I'll admit. It seems too late to make a change on our decision, which I don't want to make anyway.
What if we just kill them? Can we ask about killing them?
So what you're saying is that we say, we'd love to take your offer, but we can't. We have to do it ourselves for free.
No, that's not what we're saying. We're saying we can send a
Remind
message.
me never to let you do the negotiation. So you want to pay us to do this? How about a better
We
idea?
did not
How
say
about
that.
not?
We did not say that.
Okay. I know. I am afraid to open that folder because I feel like I will be somehow contractually obligated to do the work.
Well, it is rude, but the folder is in front of us.
Weirdly coincidentally.
So make me an insight check.
Yeah.
Am I?
Can I add my amplify ability?
I don't think you can make it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
19.
Oh.
I was convinced this was staged.
Yeah.
You cannot convince her
You make your
otherwise.
insight check.
Yeah.
There you go. That feels very staged. And
Yes.
it's sitting like
And
that.
only that face. Yeah. I'm like, eh.
She's like, I'm
You're
gonna
too
have to open
involved to
it.
notice.
Yeah, no.
This is
No, he's on the
temptation
list.
here. This is
But it
temptation.
sure feels like
The fact you mentioned him over and over and over.
They may
He hates scientists.
they may know that we have a beef with that.
We don't hate scientists, we hate that scientist.
Well, they do know because he said it a couple times on Czar.
True. So
They pick up on things like that.
yeah.
I wonder why.
As much as I dislike our friend there, I know we've got a Dedatorian on his hands.
And your little device is floating over.
Taking a photo of it or whatever.
And you can see a little picture of that little corner there.
Oh, for Kelvin can open it. Can I open it?
Yeah, it's just sitting there.
Do I know any other names? Albert Morel is a coward, disliked by our friends. He's a brilliant biochemist who works on specialized life support systems. Genesis-D&D Esper and Idasa Puck Esper, biologist, bioengineer. Yeah, there's another paper under here. There's more people.
You're risking many.
Their entourage. Oh, they're armed.
There
They're
are.
not armed, but they have like guards. 4 pretty serious looking guards.
There you go.
Semi-sentient cyber warfare and computer security robot. That's scary looking.
There you go. Now it's a fair fight. It's no longer an assassination.
Mind controlling problem.
And your thing was like taking pictures while you were looking.
I think so.
It was.
I'm
It's always taking pictures.
Yes, I am down with that. 100%. So well.
Does he have a picture of Scifi right now, covered in bear dog?
Yeah.
They're licking you. Their tongues keep coming out and rubbing on you.
And it's like giving that like perfect snapshot where it's just like right going up their nose.
Yeah.
And shit. Then
Her
I
facial
have
expression looks mildly happy.
anytime I actually have a program with
They
an
feel very
algorithm
cozy.
to detect
She's
whenever
warm right now for sure.
whenever anyone looks ridiculous, it automatically takes a snapshot and shares it to. Yeah. It's like there's all these pictures. My stream is all these pictures of my shipmates were like yawning and stuff and looking like that one moment they look horrible.
So,
And,
question
We can
time.
post
And
this
the
on
door
what?
opens.
Spaceagram?
Yeah, Spacegram and Spacebook.
and the door opens and she comes back.
Oh, convenient call. So, are you? I'm sorry to take your time. I know you're very
Apologize.
busy.
The caviar will be here in one moment. And then the door that you came in at the back opens, and there's somebody with a tray. Excellent. I'm a little bit. I could use a little bite too. And
We take it everything is going optimal. No problems.
the caviar is here,
No.
and vodka.
Oh, well, there you go. So
Masha, Armand, get down. And they get down off you.
I didn't have mine.
They're so heavy.
They were good boys. And
Well,
girls.
one of them's not a boy.
I said boy,
Oh.
big boys and girls.
They are good. You don't know dogs?
dogs. Oh, dogs. Yes.
Do
Okay.
you like dogs?
Do I know dogs?
The heads, the things wave.
You probably know of dogs that they're like a human,
Can't.
like a common
Right there.
human companion.
We just need to go
Because
negotiate.
I think it's now
Take
canon
out
that
the
one of
gatekeepers.
Amelie's side hobbies is learning about pets and
Yeah,
agriculture.
Totally.
We can just kill them. It's easy. We are at war.
Continue that if you wish to pet them, but they will try and eat your caviar.
I do not mind sharing. If you do not mind that they eat it.
They'll feel very treated.
Gotta
And there's
be
some
very
little tiny
classy.
jars that are like so little.
You're
And
like,
crackers.
like, well, I guess I'll have all of it. Can I have an insight on how the person's reacting to Annalie's love for?
You don't need insight. She seems pleased by it. She thinks it's really nice.
They are her dogs. So.
Yeah, I'm babying her dogs right now.
By the way, are those the? Yeah, never mind. I already know the
You can be
answer
a
to
dog
this
ant.
question.
She's the dog mom. You're the dog.
Oh god, I don't need another connection to the mafia. I can't be like, how do we share custody over the children?
Hey, you're like the godmother, So at this point, Kelron's like uncomfortable because he knows what Soren's
Maybe a
like.
perception check. The three of you.
Can I amplify?
16.
No.
Okay.
It's supposed to be this number.
14.
I have dogs in my face.
Yeah.
You think that she paused for a moment looking at the folder.
Yeah.
Just for a moment.
So, so Kelron is like shifting
She
uncomfortably.
started serving the. So you eat the caviar on the crackers. Delicious, an amazing taste, and a delicacy. You may not want to give the dogs any first. You should give them to them last. Sit, and they both.
She does try it.
Okay. You guys have time.
Yeah, I think we had some with Vanya as well. So yes,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh yes, this strange salty thing.
Yeah, it's a very strange, salty taste.
Someone's not
After-
taking his eyes off of Kel as he
She
slowly
definitely
eats
downs the
crack.
vodka after.
Yeah,
Like,
and that's
oh,
what
this
for.
is salty.
It is very salty. The vodka's a nice. Oh shit, it's strong.
So the Larima wiggle again, and I say, we can't say yes now until we talk to Jack and Carl. We just can't. I can't do that without their permission.
So, are we here to celebrate?
Well, we're here to talk. Well, we hear one thing we can celebrate. I brought you something. And she pulls out this is an ancient computing device that was with.
Oh, from the flying contraption.
Yes, from the flying contraption.
That was an amazing landing. I wish Jack was here.
I know.
I didn't even know people could fly things like that.
It
We hear it is called an aeroplane.
no anti-grav at all. Just not even thrusters. Just
All mechanical.
a mechanical propeller that runs on.
Eggs.
Well, we ran it on eggs
What?
and gasoline.
Eggs?
Apparently here.
It looks
Well, it wasn't a.
less than optimal.
Well, I don't know what anyone would want with the darn thing. It's some ancient tech. It's like an old toaster or something. But it is a museum piece.
Yes, she's already.
It says
getting
right there,
that flying
Intel
contraption in the
inside.
museum.
There you
You know
go.
what?
It says right there, Intel inside. It's very valuable.
The irony of that statement.
Yes, I've heard she's already preparing it for her museum. The flying machine.
Dogs are eating crackers.
So, about the job, we would love to maintain our professional relationship with the Romanovs.
Oh, so you'll be doing it.
Well, we want to ask about the details. So, specifically the horrible killing part. Well, there may be one of us.
Wait a
who's-
minute. You've killed before. I
mean,
don't know why this would be a concern, and her demeanor changes very dramatically.
one thing that's unclear about it, so we wanted some clarity on that.
She stands up while you're talking.
So one thing that I'd like to know is,
And she goes and turns her back to you guys and looks out into the fields.
so here's what I'd like to know is, let's say we do it, but it doesn't go, like, for example, it doesn't go the way you guys want. What are
She
the
comes over to
consequences?
you
We
when
want to
you're
know
talking.
what the consequences are.
And she puts her hand in your hair. You are trying to be cute with me, aren't you? And she like puts her hand through, and it's
Can I insight her right now?
sure. What are you trying to figure out?
Calvin's very uncomfortable. You don't need
If
to say
we're
for
in
that.
danger of dying right now,
Is this a threat?
Technically speaking, your heart could explode at any moment. You're always in danger of dying.
I'm always in danger of dying, but like I very obvious in the change in demeanor and what she just did.
Oh, she's not happy. That's easy to see.
No,
Yeah.
but I feel like
I mean, there's no one around with guns, right?
No guns, you see.
There's just the two very large dogs and her. No obvious turrets anywhere.
Yeah, they're all behind the secret doors.
They're all behind the secret doors.
So Calvin
And
stops
she,
speaking.
and she leaves her hand in your hair and she lowers her face to where your faces are next to each other.
Calvin's like this.
Oh no,
happening right now?
she's very close.
Are you saying that you don't want to do a job for Vanya, who's done everything for you?
See,
I
this is
can't
what I would.
imagine that would be the case. It can't be. And she kisses you on the cheek, and she stands up and
Nope.
stands away a little bit.
Yeah. Well, Calvin doesn't need a roll. He's like, that was very uncomfortable. That felt like a weird threat.
That was a nice implied threat.
No. Okay. So,
And she goes and sits puts her butt on the table in front of Annalie. So what have you? You're new in this group, and I know that you have a lot of sense to you within you. From what I've heard, you're a very sensible person. Would you have a problem eliminating people who are doing horrible things to into the system, killing people all the time, injuring animals, extracting people's brains into animals?
yeah, it's pretty nasty stuff.
That puts them into horrible pain? Entire flocks of sheep filled with little bits of people's minds that are not theirs, that they can't even understand. Are you okay with them harming those beasts? Would you be okay with putting snippets of your mind into these beasts and expect them to understand it? They would go mad, wouldn't they? And she just stops talking and just lets you, and she like stares at you.
I stare back at her and I do like one more pet to both of them. And I say, I would not want anybody who would do something like that in my world. But I also do not want to become like them either.
Soren, what have you?
Good answer.
We
Would you like to know more about your targets? I could supply that information if you were so interested.
certainly. What can you tell us? Nobody has disagreed to anything yet, or agreed for that matter. What can?
Kel's uncomfortable still.
Don't worry. He knows what he's doing. He doesn't know what he's doing.
This isn't the first time Ronley's been threatened nicely by people.
But it may be the first time you've been threatened by somebody
As power.
this dangerous
Yeah, this dangerous, yeah, for sure. But
from a position of power.
yeah,
What can you tell us? My
And
companion.
she slides the thing over. I mean, you've already looked at it, so you're probably familiar with what's in there. But that's the targets, the 3 scientists. The others are collateral. Or you can do it without harming them.
For the record, Soren didn't look. He listened and was just staring off into the distance, but he didn't purposely look. But it's rude.
Oh, Carol will acknowledge that it's rude. He's too curious.
We know that you have a quarrel with the first one, with the scientist Albert Morrow.
We do.
But do you know anything about the other 2 scientists?
We do not.
do I, in that circle of people, know of, or
See.
possibly heard of these scientists before?
Make me a history roll.
Amplify?
Yeah, you can amplify it.
Are you able to keep amplifying? I like an
I can just do, it's a cantrip, basically.
Okay.
It's like guidance.
Yeah. You said what? History?
History.
Lore?
Yeah, lore, sorry. Lore.
That is 23.
Okay, roll
Yeah.
another one.
Before.
Uh, 17.
And a third one.
Ooh, no, I don't know about that
Okay.
last one.
You know of the first one, Albert Morrow.
Oh, that jerk. He's a jerk.
What do I know? What has he done?
He's a biochemist and he's written papers and stuff in the field. A long time ago though, not recently.
Has he kind of like dropped off recently? Is
Yes.
Did he do like good work, or was it like
Oh yeah. Top notch stuff.
top notch?
Do you mean good work as in good
Yeah.
work that improves humanity, or good work as this is
Yeah, scholarship. Yeah.
extracting this paper on extracting the brains from animals is very well written. Horribly unethical, but very well written.
Right.
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Is that what you're saying? Because I want to know. Because
He didn't write anything like that. He
No,
wrote
you don't.
medical papers that were valuable and important and added to the community. They weren't medical papers on what he's currently doing.
No, you.
Here's the thing. So did Nazis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's what we.
I'm well aware that just because they do good work doesn't
Right.
mean they're good people.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we were trying to figure out. If you were asking if they did good work or good work. Two different types of good.
I'm sure I've heard of your list and how much everybody hates Albert.
Oh
by
no,
now.
the list is on a very large whiteboard in his room.
Well, I haven't. No, I'm not like he was mentioned on. The
Yeah,
list.
we've mentioned him a few times.
Yeah, he's been mentioned.
Usually as part of a curse.
Yeah.
You know?
You want to be a
Like,
hero.
we keep saying like, would you knock it off? Stop being an Albert. Things like that in that ship, you know. You're acting like an Albert. You right. Mother Alberter, whatever. I'm trying to put them together here. You son of an Albert.
We.
So I'm to report back that you're undecided at the moment.
Well, we need to speak to our fellow shipmates now that we've learned this information. Surely you understand we can't make a decision without them. We are a democracy, or, well, there are 3/5 of us present. We are a consensus-based organization, right? Are we? I mean, we've got Robert's Rules of Order and all.
We are not leaving the.
Yeah, we're not going anywhere.
We are not leaving for at least a couple of days. For at least
A couple days, perfect. They'll be here in a couple of days.
Oh, the scientists are going to be here. Right, the scientific event that he'd heard about. Well, that does make things more interesting.
But we do need to know before then because we need to make
Arrangements.
arrangements if you choose to not fulfill your obligations.
Well, I think we should talk to our.
And that was weird because you said you were obligated.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah.
The word choice was was noted.
Yeah, and it was already implied by the weird hair grab thing. So Kelvin will ask. So he's just curious to see what it is. Where it's on the table here. It's like do exactly the thing as it was exactly described to those individuals, or could we do like other forms of? It has to be the back of the head.
It's a message.
You can't just like put it in an envelope or something.
Cannot.
Okay. All right. Good to know. Good to know.
Just remember.
So you're okay taking Vanya's money and being given interesting jobs, but not willing to go the extra mile for loyalty that she.
We did go the extra mile in an airplane, which I don't think you've done.
I'm not.
So it's not.
You
we
bring
haven't
certain
done-
skills. That is, we're aware of that.
Every time we made a deal with the Romanovs, we've always fulfilled it.
That's what Fedka has said also.
So
And Vanya. That's why I'm surprised that I'm getting the maybe.
well, first
And
of
you've all killed before.
It's not like
I don't
we've all.
believe-
We haven't already.
I don't know whether you have or not.
I can say quite
Someone said
honestly,
things like, right?
I've never taken a life. I've only given it.
But just to be clear, we haven't been paid for this job yet.
No.
So your use of the word obligation is a little unusual. We were given a job offer. We haven't decided whether to accept it or not.
No one ever doesn't accept.
Micro REM states.
See,
Neat keeping their new micro sleeps.
Perhaps,
Sorry, continue.
perhaps we can come to more of a compromise.
There's not a compromise here. It is a simple job.
Okay, well,
It is the killing of 3 terrible people who are doing terrible things.
but you don't understand. Several of our crew members hate Albert with a passion, so we need to let them know.
We do understand that.
Oh, okay, good. Well, then
We understand the hatred of Albert,
Okay, well, we'll get back to you then within...
which is why she wanted to offer this job to you.
That was very kind of her. She's really thinking about our interests, isn't she?
I was told the method of it was on par with something they might do.
What they have done, including to a previous compatriot of yours, from what I've heard.
Or 2.
Yeah, I was about to say 2.
Tusk Jr. and... Well, they didn't do the full
They just said
Tusk Jr.
a
They
compatriot,
just scrambled
she
them.
says.
Yeah.
So my question is, did we want to stop them or replace them?
Place who? The scientists?
You want us to...
Them in general.
No, the Dubois.
Killing those scientists would put some damper in their progress.
Yeah. This one keeps Endori, who may or may not have built Endori Chiki.
So would
Oh, yeah.
imprisoning them.
Less
Imprisoning does not make a statement the way that leaving the bodies of them to be found does. Fine, let me know by tomorrow in the morning.
Okay.
We'll speak
I'm
that.
sure knowledge.
And the door's open. You can escort them out. They'll be back tomorrow. Do not hamper them. They can bring their weapons tomorrow if they wish.
Nice.
So it was love.
She heads out
She doesn't
into
even
that back room.
Kelleran stops. It was lovely. No, it wasn't. I mean, like, we're not even all the way out the door, and he turns. I told you, bad people.
Yes, we knew this from the beginning. Were you under the impression these were good people? We knew this was coming.
No way we can retain a good relationship with these people if we say no. Not on the table.
Unfortunately, we agreed. Also, unfortunately, we think this job has merits besides any financial compensation. It will stymie them.
We have to talk tomorrow. Okay.
And as we'll take a break.
Where are you? There you are.
Welcome back, everybody. We are back from our bio break, and at the moment, everyone is in a moral quandary except Soren. His moral quandary is more with his compatriots than with his moral dilemma of what to do. Seemingly.
It's not that he doesn't feel bad about this. It's that he knows there's a job to be done, and then
Somebody's gonna do it.
it's not like we're going out in the street to stomp kittens. These are bad people, or seemingly bad people.
Yeah. So as we're going back, I think Calren, maybe when we get back to the ship, we'll explain to Mara and Jack what the situation is, but Calren's just going to admit, he's like, look, for me, it's not just a moral question. I literally don't think I'm physically capable of doing what they're asking of us. Like, we're supposed to be the scientific ones that would manage the device. I don't think I could bring myself to do it physically.
Well, then we don't do it. We just leave it to me. Accidents happen.
So, like, you go do this job solo, and we...
No, that is rather silly. We are very proud of our skills, but we do not like the odds of success. When we say leave it to us, leave the...
Applicoring?
Well, that's the thing we wanted to speak about. These sorts of missions are dangerous and unpredictable. Sometimes people just wind up shot.
You mean just shoot them instead of applicoring them?
Yes, that is what we were
I
getting at.
don't think they'll be satisfied with that.
They will have to deal with it. It's better than denying them.
Why? Why is that better? I think Vanya would still take it as an insult. And then Vanya would probably ask something more outrageous of us, which we would say. There's also a timing question. The Atheron people they said a couple days, but can we get maybe a more specific, like, is their ship coming after these scientists will already have arrived? Or is this something
Well,
we can leave?
as you're leaving, you're passing the common area of the asteroid, which is where the bar is. So you could ask them if you wanted.
Get an exact date, like a DTA, because it's like we need to know whether we should commit to anything before
You can go ask them.
time to leave. Yeah,
They didn't give you that, so.
I'll go ask that specifically. Like, look, we're trying to.
You're back.
Yeah. So I think we're good to go. But could you give us a time to meet when we're ready to meet you to leave?
The ship?
Yes.
The ship is currently on Zar, getting loaded with its cargo.
Mm-hmm.
It will be in. Let's see if they will tell. They want to say this. The ship will be ready in 4 or 5 days.
And when do we know when the scientific conference begins?
3 days is when they arrive.
So in other words, the time where Vanya would want us to hit these scientists is before the time we would in principle leave, probably.
Correct.
That's all I really wanted to know. All right, well, let us know. You just give us a call. You know how to get in touch with us. I wanted to verify that there's this scientific conference that, I'm interested in. So, all right, thank you.
Wait. So, did you say that you are coming aboard with us? Is that a?
Yes,
It's verified. You've all spoken together, and
I think so. Isn't that right, Dr. Scifi?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
excellent. Then let's have a drink. Let's celebrate.
Oh, we just had a drink, and this is an uncomfortable situation we're having to deal with the Romanovs. And you've already, because backstory.
You were with Ivana.
They already knew that we had been received this offer that we learned last week.
Did she sex you up?
That was uncomfortable.
We did not get anything.
Yeah,
We didn't get anything good. All we
That
got
was
were
not
vague
good.
threats.
that was a vague threat. It was not vague.
Oh, she masks her vague threats inside sexual innuendo. That's
That's
just
unpleasant.
how she works, from what I
I
hear.
believe I bought us some time.
Vague. I went to make a deal with the Romanovs, and all I got was uncomfortable and vague threats.
So if we can consider you allies now, perhaps you could suggest a course of action. Shall I share? No. They already know the job that we've been asked to do. They just don't know the deadline.
You request your opinion.
Do you feel okay with me sharing this? Scifi?
And you did or did not share with them the data yet?
We did not
You
yet.
did not yet, I didn't think so.
No, we got the cash in hand, man.
Yeah.
Cash on delivery.
So we'll say, I'll say, well, the Roman, you know what the Romanovs have asked us to do, and because they volunteer that information to us, right? So they know, and I say, and the scientists in question are going to be here at this conference in 3 days.
Yeah, they were going to be in a space station on Phreesis, but they moved it out here to the Wind for whatever reason.
Well,
I think it was political.
it ends up that we have 1 day till tomorrow to tell them yes or no to that job. And I fear what would happen were we to say no, and that we would be stuck here waiting 3 more days for your ship to arrive. So it's those 3 days I'm a little concerned about, for example.
Sometimes instincts are there for a reason.
So does that mean you can't, let's say, hide us on the station for 3 days?
We could get you hidden. 3 days is a long time to keep them from finding you, but it's possible.
All right, well, we're just exploring all our options.
Shall we?
Thank you. Let us know when the ship arrives, otherwise we'll be in touch.
How willing would you be to be in a single place without moving for 3 days?
Do you mean a single room? Or do you mean literally not being able to move our bodies out?
I was suggesting a cryo chamber.
I would need drums.
More the latter,
Do you have?
because it could hide your biosignature in a place like that. That would make
Not
it.
a bad idea.
They would not be able to find you with chemical snippers, biosignatures, and things like that if they were to sweep. Although honestly, I don't think that, as powerful as the Romanovs are, that they have the ability to turn the ship into a quarantine zone of theirs. They really only have her and some guards as their staff here. They're powerful, but they don't have that sway, I don't think. I wouldn't even say they're liked here by the people who are in power of the station. They're tolerated.
Well,
This is not bizarre.
no, it is not. We're lucky we got out of there without giving a definitive answer.
Agreed.
I think perhaps I threw them for a loop they were not expecting.
Time has been bought.
Or the cat. The
Done.
They have some kind of beasts.
The
They smell
Valna.
them on you.
yeah. Cat.
There's the stench.
Oh, I bet those beasts would love you though.
You could use a shower. Sorry.
You were not wrong.
Lick. Like, ride on. Caviar tongue. Smear all over your face. Alright, so I guess
I
that
don't think she gave him the caviar. She's like, that's gross.
Fair.
She just gave him crackers.
fair. Crackers in your hair and stuff. I guess Kelleran will then shrug and does he's gonna do what he usually does at the end of a social interaction, which is he just stands there not knowing, blinking, not knowing what to do. And, okay,
Let us go.
just walks off.
I believe we need a ship meeting.
Yes.
This brings me no pleasure.
Yeah, and I think we should say no, and then figure out how to deal with the Romanovs until we get out of Dodge with our new terrorist friends.
It's good to see that you have come around to our line of thinking and that they are not on.
You get a message on Elite from Boots.
Yes?
There's some shit on the dark web that I would not have suspected
What?
about your grandmother, great-grandmother.
Hold that thought, I'm coming back to you.
Well, the dark sim, not the dark web, dark sim.
Dark sim, yes.
I know what that
That's
is.
your terminology, right?
Yeah.
Get you shite together, GM.
I need to get back to the ship now.
Okay, is something wrong with one of your patients?
No, my grandmother.
Is she okay?
I do not know if I am okay.
Okay. So we go back.
Let it be known, as we're walking back, let it be known that we would, once again, we will voice our concerns, but we will acquiesce to the group decision. This much is certain. If we are to make enemies of the Romanovs, we are not comfortable with it, but we will do our best to protect.
Okay.
That said, we do not know how much we can protect.
I appreciate that.
Despite my demeanor and our different way of thinking, you are appreciated, sorry. As she power walks back to the ship.
Yeah, right? Whoa!
We'll see you soon.
Aye.
Alright. She's getting her steps in today. Alright, let's go.
Yeah, no.
You head back to the ship. You get the ship.
So, what's the rush?
Boots.
And Boots is in the hold,
Oh, actually present?
present. And there's no wisps or anything anymore.
I walk up to him.
He's still there.
Physically there?
He is. He looks different though. His like eyes feel more blank and
Did you finally get like Wi-Fi put in that thing?
I'm very connected.
What did you find out?
One of the human that you were speaking with, Leo. I've connected photos of him, a photo of him that I found with someone older, that I also found a photo of that person with your mother, your grandmother.
Great-grandmother?
I'm sorry, not grandmother, with your mother.
Show me.
He shows you a picture. And then like the picture comes up and he shows the human, Leo. He says, and I don't think Leo is his name, which is not unusual.
Yeah.
Meeting with some person, an older person. And that person then puts another photo. So there's 3 photos. Leo and this person, or yeah, Leo and the 2 photos. Leo and this person, and then this person, but younger, speaking with your mother somewhere on a space station, looks like.
So, is possibly your great-grandmother and your mother involved in this organization?
Or maybe a recruitment attempt at some point. I don't know what it means, but there are some dots that are connecting.
Like in a sudden movement, she turns and goes like she's about to slam her fist into the wall of the ship, and then like stops, and then like puts her hand like apologizing,
And the Silk Cat pushes her hand out and comes into the room
and she like
and like leans into you.
and she calms down when she pets it. I'm not a child. Why did they keep this from me?
To protect you?
Perhaps
That's the excuse usually.
it's not making me any less angry.
It's understandable.
We have no real input.
The moment I am able, I need to contact my family.
Well, you know parents. Oh.
Thank you.
Yes, we once the crucible's either back on or we are out of the system.
Unfortunately, the lines are down right now, so to speak. This is bad, right? We don't know. We have never been into family dynamics.
Yes, this is bad. When you find out possibly your parents and great-grandparents maybe are like rebel spies or something.
Okay, that is bad.
Or good, depending on the spies. We still don't know. I still don't know what side I'm on this fight. I don't care for being called a criminal.
We're on our side. That's all you need to know.
I don't know which side that is though.
Our side.
He means he's out for our survival first off.
Well,
And I've been doing more research into that list. And there's more to that list than it shows at first.
so
Some of those people have disappeared mysteriously. Some have been involved in acts that would, by some, be considered terrorism, and some things they've done would be considered humanitarian. Not humanitarian. What's a good word for humanitarian that's not human?
ooh.
Universitarian?
Or maybe something like
Omnibenevolent?
benevolent. Yeah,
Benevolent,
benevolent.
right.
Yeah.
That's universally benevolent. So I'm a little confused by the group, or I'm starting to understand more of them. I'm not really sure how to explain it. They definitely take actions in some places, and generally for the benefit of the larger group. But not always, just like any underground organization. I think that their methods and motions are not always explainable from the outside.
Have you been able to ascertain whether these people are one group or merely a part of a whole, as with the other names?
I looked at all the other names on the Dark Sim, and I couldn't find any of them that meant anything.
Including this latest information.
Yes. I actually think it was an attempt at naming Atheron, at whatever the group was.
So these are Felix Rose's.
He may have been the founder.
He may be the founder, and so he's naming Rose's Thorn or the Thorn, right?
From my knowledge, any organization of power will have the
So-
corrupt and the ones who make decisions that are not morally good, I could say.
There was something that happened in 6027 that seems to have been important.
Which was?
One of those people was executed for treason
By the authorities or in group?
by the authorities. And I believe it connected another active cell, perhaps is the right word.
Who was executed?
One of the
Oh, I gotta look at my
one of the Ashen Forged has a date of 1627. Exhalion.
Hold on.
See the only one here.
1627?
6027.
That's the one. Erky and Stewie, the dentist from Tahiba, was executed
The one you marked at?
in 6022. Sorry, not 27.
22.
It seems like it was done. It happened accidentally by the capture of some data and documents related to the raid of Hish Cuddy on Valna. That one seems to have also been killed, but in a government raid.
Wait a minute.
And in that raid, they captured some other people, doesn't say how many, and there was a mass execution.
Oh my. Extrajudicial?
It seemed to be judicial, but a secret court.
So the Silverane government held a secret trial for these people and executed
It
them.
seems like it.
So this may have been the failure of one of these Aetheron cells.
That's what it looks like.
Side note, it says here, if I'm reading this right, that the Lorendi has full SIM data.
Yeah, but the full SIM, what it's saying is that the data is not truncated. They just don't have any data.
Oh, okay.
It's not like they purge data or hid data.
Oh, there just isn't any.
Just don't have any.
Okay, so I was gonna say, wait a minute, that would be surprising, okay.
It's as complete as they have it.
Oh, you have the full, I understand. Okay. All right, well, curiouser and curiouser. Well,
And somehow both of the Bellarii are still alive, but I guess it's not unusual. We don't even know how long they live.
well, this is, and we found no information on the Matokai who lived in system, right? The Kotukai Etim guy? I mean, other than just what's here, he died. He was a terraformer.
He doesn't have any information on him, so didn't seem to be anything else on him.
So it doesn't look like we can do any more investigating of this in where we are. I'd like to speak to your grandmother, and
You and me both.
I'd like to watch you speak with your grandmother. That's actually what I'd prefer to do. From afar, for safety reasons.
I would never hurt my grandmother.
I don't know what she'd do.
She's probably too weak to hurt you. Except maybe with words.
Thank you, Boots.
The shirt was cut.
He just seems so cold about it.
That is either the most effective or the least effective weapon.
The pen is mightier than a grenade.
I don't know. We have yet to kill someone with a pen. We've killed many people with grenades.
You're not trying hard enough.
You're right. We should try harder.
Different types of damage is still damage.
So, we have till tomorrow morning. Are we agreed that we're not going to accept the Romanoff deal, or do we need to talk to have a ship meeting?
We need to have a ship meeting with everyone.
Okay.
We will once again state the case.
Tomorrow comes in. I was looking at the news, the broadcasts are talking about the scientist conference or whatever it is. Some of the scientists are going to be arriving. They're leaving now. They're taking a slow boat. Some are bringing their kids.
Yes. I'm sure they all have families.
You can see it on the news.
Yes. Families.
Yeah, but
Tusk had a family.
know,
Yeah,
isn't
you
it
know,
awful
you know
that
who else
somebody-
has a kid? Albert's got a kid. And he's coming.
Albert Jr. So,
And so does that one pup. 2 children.
well, I don't, like, I already have stated my opinion on this. Wouldn't be able to bring myself to do it, so. We can check in with Jack tomorrow, but.
My stance is this.
People
I do
have
not-
kids too.
I do not disagree that they are scum. Even scum can have offspring. But I do not want to become like scum. As my final matter on the subject, although I do agree to a ship meeting isn't prudent.
Yeah, that's fair. I think I'm in the same general boat. I like my killing and violence to be, more abstracted and at arm's length, where I'm just a part of an organization that might elsewhere do that sort of thing. I'm not asked to dirty my hands, like, directly.
You don't want to kill the cow you're going to eat.
Exactly. I'll participate in galactic capitalism, but I'm not going to be the one that's got my heel on the neck of the worker. That sort of, is that not a right metaphor here?
We think your metaphor is off.
Right.
Though Marx would say, and someone starts to go into the diatribe on Das Kapital.
Well, if you say so, I skipped that class. And
We can lend you the book. We have it in our quarters.
a paper book.
Yeah, of course.
How quaint.
What's that supposed to mean?
Do you have the galactic spark notes of it or something?
No,
Because I was always into the science classes.
Unbridged. Unabridged.
I just kind of skipped out on my reading classes.
We will bring it to your quarters.
Okay. My bed is
The
a
test
little,
will be on Tuesday.
my bed is a little wobbly. Do you think it'll put it under the bed?
Are you suggesting damage to one of our books?
No, never. I don't weigh that much. Anyway, so yeah, he's like, all right. So in the meantime, is there any reason to believe, why did they move it to the station? And was it just some mundane reason? Can we look into that? Or was it some sort of back channel manipulation so that they could better assassinate scientists? Well, let me put it this way. Do they give a plausible reason or is just no reason given? Or
Well, the person that was initially in charge of it on Gray Station was Fedka, and apparently they were uncomfortable with it, so they moved it
okay.
to the deep line where that level of control over it was removed.
Who's in charge of it here?
One of the people who work in the
Column A, column B.
liaison departments.
Column A.
Not a Romanov.
Not a Romanov. No. All right, and then
Look how dangerous these people are.
who these people?
Yes.
We don't actually. They didn't let us take the file, did they?
He took pictures.
You took pictures.
Oh, I did.
Pictures.
So, calling them up and looking at them, no, I don't like these people.
But look how dangerous. If they were good people, they would not need this much firepower.
The woman scares me the worst.
Which woman? That woman or that one? That one?
The bottom, the mind
The
control
one you
one?
were pointing at.
Well, we are pointing at both of them. Okay, that one. Okay. And we will go and break her neck, and then she will be less scary.
Oh my goodness.
She cannot use Esper powers if her brain is not intact.
She's an anti-Esper specialist.
Yes, we noticed that. She becomes priority number 1.
If I cannot heal you, I cannot save you.
That's fine.
I do not like that.
You don't need to use. Does taking away your Esper powers take away the ability to apply bandages? Synth flesh? Set bones? Do you lose that?
No.
Okay. No, we merely need to eliminate her first. Then we can move on. You have to think about this tactically. We are merely giving the option if we are forced to take this job.
You're being unusually sweet today, Zorn. Are you alright?
We're fine. What do you mean?
What I said?
We don't get it. What do you mean? How are we being sweet?
Perhaps you were just coming to appreciate me more?
Well, you do need to be alive. The crew would be sad if you died, and we would be out down a medic. So, practicality dictates that you survive.
Gotta support your medic.
You can draw whatever conclusion you wish from that.
I shall.
Careful, assumptions are very dangerous. A little knowledge is a very dangerous thing.
You know what happens when you assume, I say.
What?
I don't know. So
Perspective is always according to the person.
That doesn't make sense. When you say, you know what happens, you assume, perspective is always according to the person. Seems like there are two messages are being mixed here.
Is this Ashen Forge humor again?
No, we honestly don't understand what is going on.
I don't know what's going on either. I know that we've got till tomorrow morning to figure out what we're going to do with the Romanovs. We can't have our ship meeting yet because Jack is away. and repairing the ship, calibrating the engines.
Doing some calibration checking.
Yeah, that's right.
And Soren, you get a message from Kaya.
Oh. No, she's not this. She's not.
She's not here.
No, she's at the
Partners.
There's
the gas station.
Hello?
There's a ship that docked here called the Soundless that looks a lot like the ship of that assassin. And somebody's been tapping into the feeds and they're looking for specific names to see if they're there on camera.
First off, we must comment, that is, the naming scheme is not very creative of the assassin, if that is true.
It's not.
Second off, can you pinpoint?
I don't know if they're actually here or they're still in their ship.
What names are they looking for?
But they've gone from station to station apparently.
What names, do you know what names they have been searching for?
1479 Soren, Kel Ganrick, Jack Crow, Marl Yaris.
Never heard of them.
Wait a minute, I know those names.
We are 1478, Soren.
Yeah.
That's not a very creative naming scheme either.
It is not.
Almost sounds like you're attached to that name.
It is our name. No one else has it.
I think that's how it is with spaceships. A lot of people get attached to their names.
My name wasn't mentioned?
No.
Good.
So
We have new problem.
this was the name. The Soundless is supposed to be
We think it is
The silence.
the silence
the Silence,
of another name.
Ship.
and the Silence is the
Urka
ship, who is working for maybe the Romanovs right now.
Probably.
But we're not 100% sure.
We don't know.
But then why would he not know where you are?
Exactly. We don't
That's
actually.
unusual.
We don't actually know precisely who he's
They
working
say
You would know
she said it was docked at the station.
Yes,
Not at our station,
not here.
at Kaya Station.
Okay.
Well, I mean, it is. If they're not working for,
Keep an eye on.
if they're not working for the Romanovs, they attacked the Dubois. They work for one of the corporations out from the outside of the system. What other factions are there?
Possibly, but then the possibilities become literally infinite. We could have them working for the Mickey Daniels Corporation.
You're good for Sanran or one of these other companies.
The only way we would know is if we were able to question. And we do not wish to question without good reason and or good equipment.
Yeah, give away your location, I guess, if we talk to them right now.
We met face to face.
Yeah, well, that too. What are we to make of this? I'm making notes.
It is odd. Do you think, no. We were going to suggest that maybe the Romanovs hired for insurance, but that makes no sense.
No, he's got to work for a third party.
Who knows?
Not the Dubois or the Romanovs, I think. Would make, unless he was temporarily hired by the Romanovs and he's not working for them anymore. Why would he be looking for us?
That is a good question. Why would he be looking for us? Keep an eye on him, on the Soundless. Jeez. Even we are not that creatively bankrupt. Keep an eye on him, on the ship. Let us know if you see anything. Do not worry. We do not think he's not here. We are the ones in danger.
How is she doing? Is she paranoid still? I'm asking through.
Oh yeah, she's very paranoid.
As she
Got a-
should be.
She's got a nice good case of the brewing PTSDs.
Well, yeah, her little like panic room down there.
Wait till her teen anger really takes hold. She'll be a thing to reckon with.
I can't wait. I bet.
Poor mother.
Yay! PTSD, unresolved emotional issues, and a career-oriented woman.
Listen, until you've had extreme trauma, you have the luxury to be a normal, angsty teenager. She no longer has that option.
Fair.
The choice was never given to us. We.
Oh, boo!
It is a very boo.
If you like, you can be a normal angsty adult.
Why? That sounds horrible.
Don't you read like Dostoevsky and stuff?
We do. Dostoevsky is horrible.
But you but you read it.
Yes. Doesn't mean we like it.
Oh,
Would you like to be a normal angsty human teenager? It sounds horrible.
I'd rather be a normal angsty dentist teenager. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Begs the question, do Aldori ever go through angsty teenagehood?
And Boots comes in.
We think that's a universal thing.
Alright. Let me see those names again on that list.
Which names? We have many names.
This list?
The scientists.
Oh, the scientists. Yeah, okay. Can we share that? Albert.
Is one of them named Idasa Puck?
Idasa Puck, yeah.
Is that the one that kept Chicky alive?
No, it's the third one that used to be in a relationship with Corellia and that may be controlled by Esper mind abilities.
Oh,
But
that's
her contribution to the science is over. Because it was the injection into the sheet.
She's the great grandchild of Camden Arwen, who's on your list.
Curiouser.
quite
The
common.
grandchildren are coming into the game now.
I mean, I will say, right, I mean, on this data, it says that there's quite a few of these have children. So we could try and trace the children and see, like, who of their descendants are around,
Look for the grandchildren, apparently.
We
right?
already looked to see which of the long-lived species are still alive. And we have to.
So, it looks like Felix's spouse and child died in 5999. Can we figure out what happened there? I mean, there's all kinds of things we could
Space obituary.
know.
They were in an accident in a government police raid
Sure.
And that's, I don't know, 4 years.
where a building had collapsed that they were in.
And that's 4 years before he formed Project Atheron.
Perhaps the
Motivation.
triggering event.
Yeah. But we've got a few other here, like this Camden Arwen has 6 children with Denari DePool. Xenobiologist.
Lots of grandchildren there.
Yeah, right? And so on and so forth. None of these are, I'm sure none of the
I mean, not a lot of people have a lot of children. Most people have 1 or 2 at most.
Yeah.
2.5 children might
Here's
picket
one,
Not even
fence.
two.
here's one with 4.
2.5 children might picket fence.
Here's some terrible one named who had only 1 child named Beltran Scifi.
So we are now have even more curious information.
Trying to process here. Let's see if I can. Is there something else we need to be doing before we have our show meeting?
Well, currently going over the information, of which we have a lot of it, but none of it seems to fit together quite right. We have snippets here and there, names, dates, connections to people long dead.
I think that here's a question. Hypothetically speaking, let's say our ship meeting says no, we're not going to become assassins. Hypothetically speaking, how might we survive that experience? We could send the message. Do we have to go to the meeting and tell her in person if we know we're going to say no?
Well, that is the question. We can phone them and say no.
How do we survive? Do we use the suggestion that one of the, I don't know if it was the Valna or the human, made the suggestion about like being in some sort of stasis pod for 3 days until the ship arrives?
What about our ship? What about the girl?
Yeah, we can't really leave them.
Boots.
We could take the ship out in space.
That was one of the ideas we were thinking.
But the repairs going on, is Marl doing them? Or do we have like a crew on the ship?
No, Marl's done.
Okay. So do we have all the equipment so that we could leave the station?
You're still waiting on the anti-gravity platform.
So they're making
Didn't
delivering.
we have a guy contracted, what's his name?
Corey.
Corey.
He's making
He's getting it built,
Oh, he's building it and then we
but not
install.
on your ship. You'll
Yeah, we don't.
When was that supposed to be done?
Spending 5 days on
couple
there.
days, 3 days.
I really want to
Well,
say.
Yeah, that's why you're waiting for it.
You know, our options are as such, assuming the scenario in which we do not take up work with the Romanovs. We either do not say anything and begin hiding procedures. We contact them via SIM and then begin hiding procedures. We go to them in person and hope for a, if not amicable parting, then a at least neutral parting, and then begin hiding procedures. And that's pretty much what we have come up with.
And I think not telling them, they'll know what that means, right?
They will.
So unless we go to them and say yes, they're apparently gonna be our enemies.
The other thing we need to keep in mind is we are dealing with a middle manager, I think the word is. We do not know how this affects the greater whole. Assuming we escape, we may not really show up on the radar of, say, the Romanov holdings and the Sectari system.
Well, that would be one reason to get out of Dodge, that's for sure.
Yes,
But I'm pretty sure that they'll be angry at us for the few days we're here after we say no. So,
yes, this is a given.
so we could leave now, the station, in our ship. From outside of the station, we send a signal tomorrow morning saying, sorry, we're gonna have to take a hard pass on that one. Go dark, hide until this other person's vessel shows up. This is the tricky part. Come back, get our anti-grav sled, or whatever. Leave again, get on the Atheron ship, and then they take us out of the
So
system.
science meeting is in 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
The anti-grav is ready in 3 days.
They're ready.
The assassin needs to take place in 3 days.
I didn't say it has to take place then. It just has to happen soon. The thing that they'll be doing will last a couple of days. And then the ship could be here in 4 or 5 days.
There's always the option to take
So
the
the timing
job.
is set up to be either in your favor or against your favor, depending on what you're choosing to do with it.
There's always the option to take the job.
And not do it.
Yes.
I like that option. Because then
We don't like that option on moral principle.
fair, I understand that. I'm also okay with saying no and running, or running first and then saying no. Because it is true that if we say yes, maybe they'll compromise us in some other way, even if we don't actually do it.
Saying no, we're on the run. Saying yes and not doing it, we're on the run. But saying yes gives us more time.
It is also, know this, we stand firm. A word once given is a binding contract. We will not abide by that sort of duplicity. We either say yes and do the job, or we say no and we face the consequences. This is something we will not budge on.
That's fair. You've budged on a lot, so.
Soren, you want these scientists killed anyway.
We do not want them killed. Albert, perhaps. The others are merely a job. It is a. Do not mistake it. We are not bloodthirsty. We do not go out of our way to kill these people. If we met them, aside from Albert, on the street, we wouldn't bear them no pat. No, not a glance. What we are saying is, we have a code and reputation to uphold. We have a moral integrity to hold. If we are free to use deception in battle or negotiations, but once a word is given, it must be given. We will not budge on this. This is something we will not acquiesce to the group on.
Then perhaps tell them that you will stop them, just not how or when.
We do not think that will fly.
Yeah, they won't accept that. I tried to float some ideas about that at the meeting, and she grabbed my Larima. It was disgusting. Without consent, I might add.
Yes, we noticed. You did not seem like you were enjoying yourself.
No, it was very clear what I preferred, and she didn't care.
The fact of the matter is, we make our bed and we lay in it. One way or another, we are compromised. We are either compromised in doing the job, or we are compromised and now we must escape.
I like that one, but that is for us finally to decide at the meeting. I was simply proposing hypotheses, hypothetical situations, and I think that leaving and saying no. The problem is that if we want to get that anti-grav sled, we have to come back here.
Maybe we don't. As much as discomfort it would prove to our guest, it may not be the smart move to pick it up. It is an option.
We could just fly in our ship with gravity turned off a lot of the time, floating around in zero G the whole time. It's inconvenient, but at least for periods of time,
Very old school.
right? Just to put the ship in a spin, maybe, you know.
Does the world have like universal like PO boxes?
No, but there are things like that in space stations and stuff.
I mean, you can ask for it to be shipped.
Sure.
Probably cost us a pretty cubicle.
We got some money to burn.
Yeah, but we'd like to use the money on.
More grenades!
We were gonna say supplies and or other things. Grenades are included in that.
Jello.
Jello. Grenades, Jello. Missiles. For a ship in case we shoot the
Fighting
16.
missile you've got.
I know.
If we're going on a run and you're asking Annalie to leave behind the gravity, you're gonna have to be able to replace it. 'Cause that's what she really wanted.
We're just saying, we're about to go, it looks like we may be about to go on the run. If we're gonna go on the run, you gotta be prepared to drop everything. This is part of the hard choice we're making here.
Fair.
There is no easy choice. There is a cost one way or another. We are either going in to do a very dangerous, frankly, morally questionable job at work at best. Bad people, remember? Or we are leaving and making an enemy and need to move fast until we can get onto the ship with the other ambiguously questionable people.
Well, I prefer one kind of ambiguously questionable than over the other myself. So I think that's right. I think that if we do it tomorrow, decide to say no, when then we need to be prepared to face the consequences. I think there's no other middle ground.
We do not think so either. If the rest of the crew does not feel that we should take the job, then we leave and give our answer.
Dr. Scifi, what are you going to do if you discover your great-grandmother is a terrorist?
And you get a message
Yes.
from Corey.
1 moment. All of us, or
Just you.
1 moment? Hello?
I'm picking up some kind of a broadband message to you, but it's all encrypted. You may want to turn on your comms and pick it up.
Thank you. You will turn
The
on.
only thing unencrypted is you.
Thank you. We will take that into consideration.
And then you get a message from Kaya. The broadcast system was compromised here on the station. You may be getting a message soon.
We have just been informed that we are getting a message.
This might be from
Urka.
Urka.
Patch comms in. Let us hear this message.
It is decrypted. We need to meet.
So this is a one-way message? Like,
One way.
okay.
And it's from Urka.
Does he say where and when?
I think he's literally just going station to station to find us. Literally just, are you the guy, did you see a Dendis,
Yeah.
an Ashen Forged, an Eldori,
It's
and
more
a
like
Kesh?
he's breaking into the camera systems and looking for video feeds mostly.
Urka is the guy who broke into the station with Kaya that we were at.
He's an assassin.
And he's an assassin and was going to assassinate Kachi Ing, but we thwarted him. And then he escaped. And then we later he actually saved us from attacking Dubois forces on Freesis.
Oh wait, that's that one.
The ship was coming out of nowhere, out of the other way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's him. The Promethean.
Did you tell Annalie that he is an assassin?
Oh yeah, he's an assassin.
Yeah.
He told you.
Well,
You know about he's an
He,
assassin.
we thwarted him and prevented him from being an
And then
assassin.
A flash grenade will do that to your face. And then camel clutch.
And then he saved us.
And then he saved us. I myself am curious to know who his employer is, because I don't think it's the Romanovs or the Dubois, or I would assume the Silrain Arc people, because they have soldiers for that. Might
Black
be one of
Ops.
the other corporations. It's angry at the Dubois for kicking the corporations out of the system.
Perhaps. All we know is this has become even more a
So there's
puzzle.
a third
No.
party.
Or
Yeah.
fourth.
We think we're on a sixth
Oh,
party
we
at
got
this point.
Dubois people with their invent with the Silrain government. You've got the Romanov crime family. You've got the Aetheron,
Foundation.
yeah, whatever they are, secret organization, and now there's whoever Urka works for.
Do you count?
Probably is none of those three.
We actually count the Silrain Arc as a separate one, though they are connected to.
Yeah, they might be fair. They're not entirely the same as the Dubois, but they're currently allied.
To say nothing of us.
Yeah, they're not the same.
Say nothing of us in this scenario. So counting us, at least 7, and that's not even if we think harder.
There's a lot of factions that work in this place.
Yeah, and they're all not super trustworthy right now. Or I'd be interested in meeting with him if he does. I mean, I don't think it's not his style to send a message saying "Let's meet" because I
We
want to
want to meet
assassinate you. He just shows up and assassinates or tries.
Yeah, he doesn't send messages.
We want to know.
He goes in quiet.
Can we respond with a similarly encrypted broadband message that only he could
You
pick up?
can.
We could send a message saying, "Meet us at Deep Point Station or outside of it or something."
Possible.
Just to be like, it would be useful to get some more information.
He will get here eventually. The problem is he doesn't know.
Don't find us. We'll find you.
Yeah.
You know, the problem is he will get here eventually, and we are not above giving a message to speed that up, preferably faster than the
Right.
next couple days.
Because in 3 days, we gotta get out of here.
Well,
Or 4.
How
Not
long-
even one
from
day.
that
Yeah,
station
right.
to this station, how long would it take him to get here?
A few hours.
yeah,
He's got a fast ship. He can move.
What do you think? Should we send a message now, saying like, get here now?
Yeah, more than a few hours. It'd be more like a half a day.
the only other
Like,
the only
little
qualm
under
we
4
have
hours.
is we are saying, "Hello, Mr. Assassin. Here's where we are." Granted, he doesn't seem like he's after us, so
Yeah, I know.
I mean, we're
It's more like he's looking for you, not looking to
For-
hit you.
he's looking for us, but he is not looking for us.
Right.
Is there a way to do like an encrypted live communication, or is that not as easy? No, okay.
Just one broadband.
So let's send one message then.
You're fine with this.
Let's do it, and then we send him. Yeah, we'll say where we are, and encrypt it so only he can read it.
Unfortunately, we are looking for desperate options at this moment. And even though, like, he is an assassin, the fact that he apparently saved us at some point, actions speak louder than words. So there's something else going on here.
He's
I know,
a professional.
right?
He's under contract for someone else
And
right now.
Annalie is getting tired of secrets, especially ones hidden by her family, so she wants some answers.
I get that. I want to get to the bottom of this too. Not for such family reasons, but come on.
And you get a message from Kaya.
Yes, Kaya.
He's leaving.
That's good.
Well, we know where he's going.
We now know where he is going. Thank you for phoning us in.
Take care of yourself. Is everything okay?
Yeah, I was just scared.
I understand.
It's fine. You are fine right now. You have done very good work. Thank you. We will be in touch. Do feel free to call us if you require us for any reason whatsoever.
I do feel free to.
Good.
Good.
And,
Keep that freedom. It is yours.
and like the ship, she sent you a feed of the ship leaving the station.
How close does it look to be to the silence?
It's the silence with new paint.
Yeah, and it's called the Soundless now.
The soundless.
We will have to mock him mercilessly.
Which is probably because he liked the silence, but it
It's a good
was,
ship.
but
I mean, we have a
you
fondness
know,
for our ship.
algorithm of the the tracking algorithm for the silence is now a problem, probably. So
Mm.
changed it to something that
It's fine. We have a love for our ship.
they'll probably still call it the
Is that
silence.
spelled?
What is that word?
Corset?
For,
That's how you spell it?
do you talk about the thing you wear?
Yes.
Not the E in the middle. C-O-R-S-E-D.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I can't spell.
It's fine.
So, yeah, I think then we need to prepare to meet.
Now we have.
Now, prepare to meet our assassin before, slip that one in the calendar, before we talk to our Russian criminal galactic syndicate to tell them no so that they'll want to probably kill us. Then we can flee and join the terrorist organization before, and then so that we can undermine the other criminal corporate organization that wants us to kill us, that killed some of our friends, that's allied with the galactic government. And hopefully slip it in there for Kel, discovering the secrets of the universe. Thank you, Atorians, Crucibles, and so
All I
on.
see around me are familiar faces and worn out places.
This is where we'll break.
So,
Thank you.
Bye.